Darren Waller is wearing number 35. Robert Henry Jr. frame mogged. Katron Allen. Najee Harris is probably going to sign with the New York Giants. And Jacob, we are drafting in a Best Ball Mania at the 1.12. And I actually have a mission for us in this draft. I saw a tweet from old friend Draft Sheet, and he said, absolute worst thing is drafting a Best Ball, is listening to a stream where the two hosts are both just like, I don't care. I'm trying to manage my exposure. So this is what we're going to do, Jacob. We're doing a Heart of Hearts draft. We don't care about our exposures. We are going to, well, frankly, this actually is not an issue for you because the way you just draft your top ranked player every time. So we are doing a Heart of Hearts draft out of the 112 in Best Ball Mania. We are going to select our favorite picks at every slot in this draft. One BBM to win all the money.
All right. That's exciting.
It is. I actually expect
the 112 is a good spot for this because it really forces you to see how much you believe in something because you know they're not coming back to you 24 picks later.
It's true. I also expect we are going to have a relatively interesting conversation at 36, 37. My guess would be one of Breece or Love is actually probably going to be there based off of what I think the market is going to be doing. We are about to be on the clock, though, at the 112. We have Jeanty, we have Barkley, we have Walker. What do you want to do?
I think we would have the same Heart of Hearts here. I would
Jeanty Walker.
Jeanty Walker.
It is for sure my Heart of Hearts, and that's one that my heart has actually not been shy about in any way, shape, or form. I'm probably going to get a lot of things wrong this year. In fact, I think you could bet your bottom dollar I'm going to get a lot of things wrong this year. I don't think Kenneth Walker is going to be one of them. Just like I
think he's going to be a total smash.
Yeah, like everything the Chiefs are saying. Frankly, I'm like a smidgen worried actually about Rice. Just like he's been very expensive. We are 30 days before the season. His gait does not seem fixed. The addition of Walker to the team, I think, is just going to make it more difficult for him to be a substitute for the run game. Like all of these things are true. I mean, I think the only way Walker kind of ends up failing is that actually he's just not good. Like that I think is actually the failure point. Yeah, I think it's unlikely too.
I mean, I think we know that he's very good. I understand that he has deficiencies in certain specific areas. I guess my attitude would be any team that would be willing to sign him to the contract that the Chiefs are willing to sign him, like have a favorable view of what Walker's profile is, which I would view very favorably. I think he's one of the best running backs in the league. I can understand why other teams wouldn't think that way, but those teams probably weren't interested in acquiring his services in the free market. So I'm not that concerned about it.
I actually completely agree. I don't know how many people have made this point. I was thinking about this on the flight on the way home, as you do. But I actually think the Seahawks, a team that are so into running the ball, choosing to spend a first-round pick on a different running back and then letting Ken Walker leave in free agency, actually does show that the usage patterns for both Price and Walker are going to be more bullish than the market anticipates because the Seahawks were purposefully using Charbonnet and then in the postseason after Charbs got injured, George Halani, in situations where Kenneth Walker could have played, but they chose not to play him there. And then the Chiefs paying him all that money, it actually showed that I think the Seahawks were a little bit down on Walker's ability, and the Chiefs are really high on Walker's ability. Like, that is my read of the situation.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Chiefs or that the Seahawks clearly... I don't know exactly what the breakdown was between concerns regarding his success rate tendencies versus... concerns regarding his injury history. Like, it's hard to say exactly which was which, but certainly some combination of those two things led them wanting to minimize his touch count. I mean, it's come out after the fact that Walker was legitimately frustrated by that, which I think is also bullish. Because
part of why he wanted to leave, right?
And it probably suggests that, like, a big part of that is of what he would have been looking for in free agency would have been assurances of a massive workload, right? If that's one of the reasons why he didn't want to be there. It's like I'm playing college football 27 all the time, and all the different players you're trying to recruit have their different deal breakers. Like I'm envisioning Ken Walker had a playing time deal breaker in this scenario. All right, we're gonna be
heart of hearts, brother.
My heart of hearts here would probably be Waddle and McMillan. But who do you want? You have
My
a heart too.
my heart of hearts would be Waddle and Garrett Wilson.
All right, let's do that. That's fine.
I think that if I wasn't a coward and I was really into just honestly drafting more like you or drafting more like someone with a backbone, I would have 34% Garrett Wilson. My heart of hearts is Garrett Wilson is a better pick than Ibuka, better pick than T, better pick than Flowers. He is equivalent to Rashid Rice, and frankly, probably better than Olave too. With assuming that with a good offensive line, that Scott Bair has actually made this point a lot, that maybe no quarterback is more sensitive to offensive line skill than Geno Smith, and depending on which spot you choose to get your offensive line rankings, the Jets offensive line rankings the Jets offensive line is very, very good.
It'll certainly be better than what they had in Vegas last year, particularly after Colton Miller got hurt. So I'm optimistic. And I mean, Omar Cooper seemingly not having the best camp. Kenyon Sadiq dealing with injury.
Who could have predicted? That's
Omar
probably
Cooper pretty
Jr.
positive for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't think Garrett Wilson is getting target mogged by Isaiah Williams. I don't think that's in the range of outcomes.
No, and Sadiq, missing from camp as well. Frankly, I mean, I actually could see first 3 weeks of the season, we look at the standings and Adonai Mitchell leads the National Football League in targets per route run before he obviously makes a heinous mistake that ends up getting him benched by the Jets.
The one concern about Adonai Mitchell's targets per route run this year is that he will be running 95% of the routes for those first 3 weeks. So we'll see.
True.
We'll see exactly how well those targets per route run scale up. But I like Garrett. I had no objection to that. I've had Tetaroa and Garrett basically back to back in my rankings. I mean, pretty similar profiles to me. It's two guys that I'm really, really sure are amazing in situations that I'm perturbed by.
Right.
I've probably slightly leaned towards Tetaroa on the basis that I think that the target competition is less scary, but I guess that's probably evening out or maybe even tilting in Wilson's favor over time. I absolutely of Sadiq and Cooper has not gone that amazingly.
I disagree with that because Breece is a good target earning running back. Adonai Mitchell is better than Jalen Coker, and then if and when
you say that.
Oh, I mean, I don't even think that's arguable. I don't even think that's someone would argue with it. In fact, most people would, but I wouldn't be willing
the underdog best ball ADP would argue with it.
Yeah, I will not be willing to engage those people in good faith.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That sign doesn't bother me because I can't read. I just think the Garrett Wilson thing is so obvious. We've all known this forever, which is if he ever gets a season of the 17th best quarterback in the league at any point, he is going to finish as a top 7 wide receiver. I mean, we have taken Garrett Wilson in the first round of fantasy football drafts before. It's really not that crazy. We are about to be pressed for our heart of hearts. We are in 3 picks and we are in that really dangerous range where all the running backs are gone. Henderson, Watson, Rome, P. Wash, Carnell Tate. Biggest takeaway from me this preseason that I is not even data based, but just any kind of sleeper stuff I had with the Titans. We'll come back to this. Who do you want to take?
Oof.
Yeah. Yep. It's bad.
Trevion Jayden Daniels.
Yeah. I mean, Trevion, I think, is clearly the correct pick. Daniels, I think, is fine if we're willing to take Diggs. My heart of hearts might be Brian Thomas Jr., actually.
Sure. That's not my heart, but let's do that.
I just I feel very strongly that there are so many what's the opposite of a superlative? There are so many extenuating circumstances, actually, to use legal chatter, for Brian Thomas Jr.'s 2025. I'm almost willing to give him the Xavier Worthy. I'm almost treating those statistics like they're not real. He had a leg injury. He had a wrist injury. His best friend died. They draft Travis Hunter. It just was all a mess. It was all not a mess for the team, but a mess for him, like a mess for him personally. So I guess honestly, I just also think he's a lot better than Jacoby Myers, and them using Travis Hunter as his backup is pretty bearish for them. Like if they wanted to bench him or trade him, that makes it easier for them to do that. But it also makes it harder to get Brian Thomas Jr. on the field the same time as Travis Hunter, or Hunter on the field the same time as BTJ rather.
That's an interesting spin on it for sure.
Yeah. And then back, I just want to real quick, the Titans thing. Like, I think I already don't believe that Brian Dable can fix Cam Ward. Like I'm already like,
oh, wow.
It's not happening. They're going to be terrible. Like it's just, they're all bad. Like the first Ward play I watched, I'm sitting on the couch, at Mason's Airbnb. We pull the games up. First play I see is Cam Ward just backpedaling towards his own end zone. And I was like, okay, well, it's just not happening. It's over.
I'm probably not quite as concerned.
Seriously, like just straight up, you're not worried.
It's the preseason.
Yes, okay, it is the preseason, but isn't kind of the
like
point?
I'm concerned. Sorry, like, but when I say I'm not concerned, like I'm already concerned. I'm concerned because Cam Ward was like horrendous last year,
and our first spotlight, he's still bad.
Yeah, so I mean, my base level of expectation on Cam Ward or anyone who has a rookie year like he had is concerned, but I'm not. I would say that I don't have that much additional concern based on 1 week of preseason. By the way, are you experiencing this too? It happened in this draft. I'm stunned by how little Jordan Tyson is falling in rooms.
Yes, I actually just did a big.
Like I've seen him go in the
update.
sixth in a couple of. Like every time I hop into a BBM these days, I'm like, man, I really hope I don't have to make the decision on whether to draft Jordan Tyson at like pick 82. And he's never making it there.
And he's never
like going
made it.
like within 5 picks of his ADP every time. I mean, he would be. What odds would you place right now that he starts the season on the PUP list?
High. I moved him. I moved him
50,
to
50, I think almost.
I moved him to 85. I would be maybe a little less concerned about Tyson specifically if this was not just like a re-aggravation of the injury he already had. The fact that this is the same thing that kept him from participating in the combine, it cut his final season of college short. I'm just like, what are we doing, folks? Like this is the worst injury. I would rather him have a high ankle sprain, I think, right now.
Oh, for
in
sure,
terms
I would.
of where I'm drafting him. Yeah.
1000% I would.
Yeah,
I moved him to 80, and that felt too high almost initially, but then he hasn't made it there, so I haven't really had to worry about it. But yeah, he's been really concerning for me.
Where'd you move him in your rankings?
Stinks. I have him at 80 right now, but I haven't he hasn't fallen there yet, so I haven't had to stress test it. I have him right. I have him like right in front of Jayden Reed, but if I was on the clock, I don't know what I necessarily.
We are on the clock. We have 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. We're doing our heart of hearts. What would you like to do?
Well, Lawrence is one of the picks with Thomas.
Yes, my heart of hearts would be Reed for sure.
That's Reed is consistently in my heart.
Yes, completely agree. And you know what? I historically, compared to my fellow slappy brethren, have not been the biggest Jayden Reed guy. And the usage was what I expected in the preseason. Like Golden and Watson are going to be the outside guys. I am becoming more convinced by the day. I was actually talking about this with Mr. Salvetri, who is a Packers fan. This is the year because they were gonna fire LaFleur. I don't know how. I don't really know how he saved his job, but they were gonna fire him. I would find it surprising for them to run back the same offensive plan that they've generally used for the last 5 years. Since in the Jordan Love era, where they've just been so slow, below league average in PROE, all those things. I think they're going to gun it. I think they're throwing it, and I think Reed, Watson, and Golden are all phenomenal picks.
Yeah, I've struggled a bit more with Watson, but Reed and Golden, I like a lot. And even if Reed is only playing in 3 receiver sets, or maybe he mixes into a few 2 receiver sets, but the very much a minority of them. If they could go from like a team that we project to have 520 dropbacks to a team that we could project for 600 dropbacks
600.
because their PROE is more in the league average range and their pace is more in the league average range, then all of a sudden, like Jayden Reed can absolutely hit at a round 8 best ball cost with 70% route participation. Like, because the raw routes would be so much higher. If he could gain an extra 60 to 65 routes, then I don't think that the 2 receiver sets become quite as necessary. They'd obviously still help a lot, but I do think he could get there more on efficiency. He's always been a super efficient per route and per target player. Joe in the chat had asked, are we bumping down Love and Breece? I mean, I think obviously the yes-no answer to that has to be a yes, but the more important question is how far did you bump them down?
I bumped Love down quite a bit because I had Love as like a kind of like a priority target before. I think I moved him down to like 32 or 33 because I'm now anticipating. I think he probably will play in week 1,
I
but
agree.
They just have the ready-made solution there. They signed Tyler Algier 2 years, $12 million. Like he's there, he's good to go. Like he is probably gonna get more carries. Like if you made me bet right now who gets more carries the first month of the season, Love or Algier, I'm at even money. I'm probably taking Algier. It's at least very close, I think.
I think I'd still take Love, but I moved them. I did have a significant move, so I had them I think back to back already. They're still back to back. I mean, Breece, we really don't know that much about yet. Like all we know is that it is a groin.
A groin.
That Aaron Glenn said it wasn't a big deal, but based on the fact that he went down untouched, I'd be surprised if it was like just a tweak. So we're basically looking at a grade 1 strain. He'd very likely be back for week 1. A grade 2 sprain. He might miss a couple of weeks. And we obviously don't know which one it is yet. So I moved, right as of today, I moved Love down to 35 and Hall down to 36. I feel like Love, I'm probably going to, all right, we're back up here.
Where do you want to go, brother?
I'd go, is Jordan Love still on the board? Because I'd just go Golden Love.
Golden, Love. No,
Love's
he's
gone.
not.
Oh, then I'd do Golden and Knicks.
Golden and Knicks. Let's see if I can click fast enough. There we go. Got Golden. And Knicks works for me. Yeah, we'll do Knicks. I think that Knicks and Waddle, I mean, that's got to be one of my most drafted stacks that is not Mahomes and Worthy, actually. I would think. I probably am, no, not even probably. I most certainly am moving Jacory Croskey-Merritt actually up to that range of the draft. That was one of the big things I did.
Wait, to which range? Surely not to the Breece Love,
No.
Love range of drafts.
No, not to that range of drafts. I moved him up to this range. I moved him to the there. I mean, he went at 107 anyways, but I'm moving him to the Jordan Mason, J.K. Dobbins range of drafts. And I think
I've had him at 102 since a couple of rankings updates ago, and I'm pretty happy with that spot on him. I'm still ahead of consensus on both of the Washington running backs. And I feel even better about that now. I mean, I felt great about that the whole offseason. But I feel even better about that now after McNichols is hurt. He's going to be continually out for another couple of weeks. And then, like, Katron got 23 carries in a preseason game, and he looked kind of fat and slow. So I'm not really that concerned about him.
Katron is off the board at Davis-Maddock Industries. I'm not going to be drafting a day 3 running back getting 23 Russians with Athens Kalamakis. Like it's just like, we looked this up. JCM went 12 carries, 7 carries, didn't play in preseason. Week 3 was his preseason usage. And I believe, if I remember correctly, Brian Robinson Jr. was not traded until I think Brian Robinson Jr. was not traded until much closer to the season than a month. Preseason games might have even been over by the time Brian Robinson Jr. had been traded, if I remember correctly. I can look it up.
No, I think that B-Rob was traded before, because
He
I remember
was
the
traded
first. I remember that like
August
JCM Meany
24th.
was already. Oh, really?
August 24th.
Wow. Okay.
So, but he didn't
Okay.
play in the preseason. Remember, he scored the long touchdown in the preseason.
I remember that JCM touchdown against the Bengals. Yeah.
Yes. The literal untouched. I completely people are gonna think I'm doing a bit. They're like, Davis, he'll fall in love with anyone who is new, which they are right. I mean, frankly, the fact that Robert Henry Jr. is a fast running back prospect from the University of Texas,
really
San Antonio.
Metrics.
He had really good metrics.
He actually pops. I mean, like, he is like really old, and he played at a very crappy school, and he has no receiving profile. So there's a lot of cold water to throw on that. But
we call him Jacory Croskey-Merritt. We call him Jacory Croskey-Merritt Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty. I feel quite content if the debate is whether Katron Allen or Robert Henry is better, and Jeremy McNichols is currently not practicing, I'm just gonna keep clicking a lot of both JCM and White. I'm gonna sleep like a baby personally.
Well, we know what lives in my heart. Certainly, I actually moved him up even further in my rankings. What are you thinking after we take Keaton Missile?
Can you tab over to wide receiver?
Wide receiver, we've got Boston and Hunter. Tight end, we have Goddard.
Probably Rashid Shaheed is in my heart. Perhaps Chris Rodriguez, but I don't know if that's in my heart. That's more in my brain. I think Rashid Shaheed is probably.
I'll do either. I'll do either Shaheed or C-Rod. Your call.
Let's do Shaheed.
Yeah, that's fine. So talk to me about that one, because Rashid Shaheed has always lived in my heart. Famously, gotten a lot of arguments about Shaheed with the Chasers last year, which I was ultimately proven correct about. Many such cases. His role on Seattle doesn't feel great to me. So talk through that.
I think it's going to be great this year. Is my answer. I mean, we don't really know, right? But I would be really stunned if they gave him $17 million a year to be like a rotational offensive player with a special teams role. That would just be really dumb. Cooper Kupp did not much last year. He looked extremely washed. And I think Shaheed is a real receiver. To me, he was in the middle of a breakout in 2024, then got hurt. He was in the middle of a breakout in 2025, got traded. But if you look at just his metrics over the first half of 2024 combined with the first half of 2025, they were really strong. I mean, this was a guy who was consistently earning over 20% targets per out run, was living in 1.8 yards per out run range, and he was putting up his 2025 production with Rattler when the passing offense on the Saints got more efficient as a whole with Shuck. Like, to me, if he never got traded and he was still in the Saints and they didn't draft Jordan Tyson, I think this is a guy who'd be going in like round 7 right now. He never really got integrated with Seattle. He still looked amazing, like every time he was on the field.
He won them a game. He had a punt return touchdown and like a 42-yard run to set up a game winner. He like legit won them a game.
And they decided to prioritize him in free agency for
over
more money
Kenneth
than
Walker.
Kenneth Walker signed for. Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, and it's a team that desperately needs a second weapon on offense behind JSN. So I think he's going to be – I think his rep participation is going to be quite high. I think he's going to be pretty clear wide receiver too. And I think he's going to be a pretty big hit.
If you ask my quantitatives from establishtheRun.com, they already have the second guy. It's Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Like Cooper Kupp was useless last year, and they gave Shaheed $17 million a year. I don't really get the case for Cooper Kupp. I'm not saying he's not going to play at all, but I would be like really surprised if over the course of the season that Cooper Kupp ran more routes than Shaheed.
I think I would be surprised by that too, actually. At the end of the day,
it's the combination of Shaheed. Like, it's not just us. Like, it's not like we're trying to do like oh, I think the team is going to take Cooper Kupp off the field for Torrey Horton because, like, I like my fancy little young guy. Like, they just gave him 51 mil.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree with you. By the way, the market agreeing with me. Cam Ward, based off just looking like ass, a legitimate faller in best ball. We are up in 2 picks. Where is your heart taking us with these selections? Keeping in mind
these are some picks I actually feel pretty strongly about. The one I feel most strongly about is Jawan.
Okay.
He's been a guy I've liked all year, but especially if Tyson's out, this is a guy who would be a mega smash to me. And then I like a lot of the picks. I was going to try to pitch Trey Harris after not getting him on our main event the other day.
We did not get him on our main event team.
I like a lot of the running backs here. I like Tank a lot. I like MarShawn Lloyd a lot. And I like Tyjae Spears a lot.
My heart is with you on Lloyd and with Bigsby. Who is your heart more into between those two?
Probably Lloyd.
Okay. We have the Green Bay stuff set up anyway. I'm with that. I mean, Tank, I think, is an awesome pick. Lloyd, I think, it's one of the classic instances of if we didn't have any priors on MarShawn Lloyd, he would be going where Kenny Gainwell was going, but because we've all been, which is not to say that you should throw out the information that MarShawn Lloyd has, not been able to stay on the field. But Bigsby is just like also a great pick. They're both very good.
Right. It's also interesting how some preseason injuries, like, I feel like everyone is notified when they happen or we see them happen, and then they like get a timeline that's defined, and so everyone treats those as a big deal. But sometimes preseason injuries go like very underreported, and it's just kind of like, oh, this guy's not at practice today. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, this guy's still not at practice today. And those get treated as very minor. It's entirely possible, for instance, that Breece Hall misses the same amount of time with his groin injury that Josh Jacobs is currently missing with his groin injury.
Yeah.
And yet, I was like literally seeing tweets today saying you can't take Breece Hall anymore in the 3rd round. The only running back that I feel comfortable with this round is Josh Jacobs. And it's like, well, he's actually currently also missing practice with a groin injury. So I definitely think Lloyd. I think Josh Jacobs has limitations anyways, right, from an explosiveness perspective. So I think that there's already potential for Lloyd to have a Jayden Blue-esque juice back role. And then you could potentially add on to that a lot of contingent upside, and contingent upside that has 2 paths already existing to being realized with Jacobs' current injury and then still that kind of ambiguous suspension risk.
People are asking a lot of
questions, by the way, about this whole Terrence Ferguson never gets to you in drafts. There he goes.
Never. I basically assume I just have to take him off stream or literally take him in like the 13th round. People are asking a lot of questions about Devon Vele, to which I say, you guys all need God, man. Like, Devon Vele has so many guys, even with Jordan Tyson being injured, who can snatch his chain. And like Bryce Lance can snatch his chain. Oscar Delp can snatch his chain. Like, enough already, man. You guys are all smart. You guys are very familiar with Devon Vele's work. It's fine. If you want to take Devon Vele, do it. You guys just don't act like there's a moral quandary about it. You know exactly what you're getting. You're getting Cooper Kupp's Seattle Seahawks route participation and projection on the Saints, but without ever knowing that this guy finished as a wide receiver. He might be Cooper Kupp's age, dude. He literally might be Cooper Kupp's age. It's enough. It's
It's ridiculous.
All right. Heart of Hearts time. We definitely need 1,
2, 5, 6, 1.
Yeah, we need a tight end here.
We probably want this to be 2, 6, 7, 3.
We could definitely get away with 5 running backs: Jeanty, Walker, Henderson, Mitchell, Lloyd, all different bye weeks.
I just have a running back I quite wish to take, but not at this pick.
Is it okay? We need a tight end.
Let's do. Oh God, Barner's probably the safest one, right?
We do.
We don't have to take him though. If you wanted to.
Yeah, Barner's fine. He wouldn't necessarily live in my heart. I'm ready to come clean to everyone.
Okay.
I am now so worried that the news on Cyrus Allen is so bullish that imagine Cyrus Allen is the prince who was promised, and you had Davis Maddock urging caution all offseason. That's not a reality that I can live in. That's so what really lives in my heart of hearts is that I don't think
your
Cyrus
heart of hearts is fear.
What is in my heart is fear. And
Right.
and actually, unlike many of the other Chiefs guys that we have done this about, the depth chart actually is fairly open in the sense that Worthy might just be ass. Tyquan fits in a really good role in this offense. But if Cyrus Allen actually is as good as they say, you can just take Tyquan Thornton off the field and that's fine. Worthy and Rice are like, also like health wise, like Worthy weighs 160 pounds. Rashid Rice's knee does not look good. Travis Kelce is a billion years old. So maybe he gets injured or just they like there. To me, there are more out to him contributing than Jalen Royals, Byron Pringle, Justin Ross, all these guys that we've ever done this with, I think.
Man, what Trioth in the chat, nothing I don't think could make me happier than the Kansas City Chiefs signing Keenan Allen. As a person with extremely little Rashid Rice and extremely the opposite of little Josh Downs, like I might make an exorbitant purchase just based on the total
just based on that
box available for me. If Keenan Allen could sign with
I don't
Chiefs. The running back I wanted is now gone, by the way. Emmett Johnson is like
okay
a guy that I'm entering drafts to select. You're the Chiefs guy, so maybe you can talk me out of this, but he looked really good to me in the preseason. 10 forced missed tackles, and then today he was first up in the running back drills, ahead of Amari DiMercato and Brashard Smith. That feels a little bit intentional to me. If he's just the clear RB2, that would be, I think, a pretty massive win for him at cost, right? I mean, you're getting the clear RB2 for the Chiefs with a really fun profile. I mean, that could be a guy that's like 3-4 rounds under price. He's been going here because people weren't sure he was the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've been kind of drafting him like he's the 2 the whole time, but now I feel like that's confirmed, or do you feel like it's still not as confirmed?
I mean, the stuff with DiMercato was very odd, and it would not be the first time that they signed an old guy and then immediately realized he was cooked and they shouldn't play him anymore. They've done that. I mean, they did it with Melvin Gordon. They did it with Elijah Mitchell last year. So it's definitely possible. My read is that DiMercato will probably get the second rush of the year. Let's make these picks real quick.
Still,
we need
even after he played the okay, so we got to do Evan Ingram is probably the pick I'd make here for Bo Nix, but we don't have to.
Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram lives in your heart, and
he does.
I mean, Keenan probably lives in my heart. Frankly,
yeah, let's do Keenan. Great.
It'd be Keenan or Singleton.
No, I like Keenan. I've been drafting a lot of Keenan.
Yeah.
I hope he signs, mostly like for Nez's mental health.
Yeah. Also rooting for Nez on that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm getting myself a bag of Keenan, so I am pretty invested in him signing somewhere. That's in large part a hedge book against what I don't want to happen, which is him signing with the Colts. But like at least if he does, I'm somewhat protected. In a perfect world, he signs somewhere that's not the Colts. Because I really just don't want him in my life, either for fantasy reasons or for Colts fan reasons.
Where are you wanting him to sign for your bags?
The Chiefs would be the best by far. Just because it would be a good spot for Keenan Allen, and it would bring harm to players that I'm rooting against. I am overexposed to Worthy. I don't think that Keenan Allen hurts Worthy all that much. Like they operate in such different areas.
No. So. If Keenan shoots Rashid Rice in his heart of hearts, like it's so bad.
Yeah, like
for
it's quite bad for Rice and for Kelce. I don't really think it's that bad for Worthy if Keenan signs there. So that's fine by me.
The Worthy
Um,
stuff I actually feel very similar about Worthy as I do to Bhayshul Tuten. It's if you're good, it is all open there for you. The world is your absolute oyster. If you're good, there's no one on this team that can stop you from reaching your zenith. If you're bad, it is what it is. Like you were going to be bad.
yeah.
You were going to be bad regardless. Yeah. I
Trying to think of other
I
potential
completely
Keenan
agree.
spots. I mean, I don't think that the Chargers are going to do it. That I would love. Um, um, the Rams would be interesting because it would hurt Devontae Adams, who I draft very little of,
Mm-hmm.
but it would also hurt Terrence Ferguson, which would be quite painful.
Yeah,
Um,
I really don't even know if it would. I mean, it's not ideal. Like it's not as ideal as the circumstance they're in now. But I think you still keep the A dot stuff with Seifert.
yeah, it would just take away like opportunities for routes. Like I think they would just run a lot more 11 personnel.
Yeah.
Bears would be horrendous for me.
Bears
Please no.
Bears would be
Bears
bad.
Bears like Bears I would need to spend some time like alone.
I need I guess the spots that I would take him. I mean, 49ers I think would actually be fine if they just decide like
Oh my god,
all
I'd
these
love
dudes
that.
are
But
cooked.
I'm not buying that they do that and Debo, but that would be amazing for me.
Raiders would be good for everyone. Who complains about Keenan Allen to the Raiders? That's good for everybody.
Yeah, that's probably fine. I mean, like it wouldn't because like there's such an unbelievable dearth of talent there
Mm-hmm.
that like even though in a vacuum Keenan Allen would operate in the same area of the field as Brock Bowers, like the amount of targets available for Brock Bowers currently supersedes what any human being is capable of actually earning. So I don't really see how like Brock Bowers' target share could be hurt even by an addition. Because like if we're just basing it off of kind of what everybody's targets per route run would be in a vacuum, it just doesn't add up to 100%, like based on the current Raiders, you know? So it's like, and even Brock Bowers, I don't think can command a 45% target share. So they kind of do just need someone else to step up into that.
Falcons, maybe Ravens. I mean, Ravens is all. That's
Falcons.
the
I'd love Falcons.
Yeah.
I'd love. The Kyle Pitts drafters, wouldn't love that.
Well, the Zachariah Branch drafters, which we're all trying to find the guy who's drafting Zachariah Branch, which is
right.
me. I would be that guy.
Ravens would be fine with me. Like I guess he heard say a little, but that's kind of the same way that I feel about the Raiders. Like how many targets can you really earn? Like I think he would. Like if he goes into a team like the Bears, it would be very bad because they already have 3 players who I think on their own terms are worthy of a legitimate target share. And so he starts eating into everyone. You go on a team like the Raiders or the Ravens, I think that you're not really eating from the top guy because there's so many fragile targets available beneath him that I think Keenan can just walk in and subsume before like eating any of Zay Flowers or Brock Bowers targets, right? Like he can take from the Mark Andrews and the Jacoby Lane and the Rashad Bateman and stuff before he would take from Flowers, in my opinion.
Any big preseason takeaways for you? Is there anything that you were like, okay, I actually am going to shift some stuff in my rankings?
Yeah, I mean, like legitimately he's dribbling, but the fear of God into me. I've been drafting him constantly in all my slow drafts, to try and get like a little bit of a hedge book in. What else for big takes? I mean, I said Emmett is a guy I really want to target right now. He got me quite excited.
One of the biggest for me in terms of strategy, I didn't make too many changes to my rankings. I did pull up Caleb Douglas, but Malik Willis just looked awesome. Like outside, like he just looked like I'm competent. I know what I'm doing. I can execute the offense. Like we're not going to be the worst team of all time. I compared to the prior sample of watching him play on non-LaFleur offenses, it was very, very good.
That impressed me. I I wouldn't say that moved me. Like if you've been drafting Malik Willis a lot all off season,
I have been. I have been.
you should be feeling encouraged, and it was definitely good. I guess what I would say is it's not like there's anything wrong with what Malik Willis did. It looked great. I guess to me it's like a preseason situation is kind of it's kind of isn't possible for a preseason situation to change what my concerns are about Malik Willis. I feel like we already know that he can look good in a small sample and in a scripted situation. The concern is like, is this a guy who can operate in a comprehensive drop back environment, like over the course of a larger sample? So looking
no.
really good in one scripted preseason drive, like, is kind of something I already would have expected he could do, but doesn't address my larger concerns.
Because he was so bad for the Titans.
But he was very good for the Packers in a small sample, like, which also surprised me. Like, he looked way better for the Packers than I thought he would in the Titans. Like, that surprised me at the time. But now, having seen him do that for the Packers, I obviously view him in a more positive light than I did like 2 years ago. But he never dropped back more than 23 times in any of those games for the Packers. So, and to me, it's a lot more about like the sample size issue and like how translatable is this small sample production. So it's like, I guess, nice, to see him look good in a new environment with pretty uninspiring playmakers, but like, scripted drive against preseason vanilla defense, like it just doesn't. It's just kind of incapable of addressing what my actual concerns about the profile are.
I was more willing than the average gamer to give Malik Willis a pass for those things because I legitimately think he can run for, like, I actually think he can do like 160 carry season as a quarterback. I
think that's
in my heart of hearts, I really believe that. And if he can also, on top of that, give me 3,300 passing yards and 19 passing touchdowns, I think my guess is that when we are doing our post-mortem of this year and we're thinking about it, we chased Justin Fields up. We drafted Anthony Richardson in the 5th round for like 3 years, despite no evidence that he was any good at playing quarterback in the National Football League. We gave Trey Lance 3 passes, but all of a sudden we drew the line at Malik Willis. I think it will look very silly in hindsight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open-minded to Willis himself scoring fantasy points. I'm my concerns about Willis are a little bit less about himself, especially in best ball, because I do think it'll be pretty volatile. Like, I definitely think there will be games where the offense just kind of doesn't function and he scores like 8 because they run 40 plays. But I also do expect there to be games where he throws a 70-yard touchdown and he has a 50-yard run and he scores 32. Like, he'll be a really fun like DFS guy. I think he's going to be a fun best ball pick. My concerns about him are more about like the offensive environment, and specifically for Achane, because luckily nobody else is expensive. So, there's a lot of
Caleb Douglas. Where'd he go? Where'd he go in this one? Caleb Douglas went 179. I mean, that's pretty expensive.
Higher than I'd go.
That's
the annoying thing about how sharp some of these best ball markets are, is that there is very little time between, like, hey, this is a guy who I would like to prioritize in round 18, to they're never making it anymore to round 18, and in fact are going even higher than I wish to draft them.
Like
Jacoby Lane was a great example of this, where it's like the window of time between it really does force you to like either be okay missing the boat or have to invest in pretty speculative bets, because I do feel like it used to be the case that with a Jacoby Lane, if you wanted to, you could not you could not invest in a very speculative bet on like a round 3 rookie with a completely unclear role. You could wait on the camp reports. Once the camp reports start getting really positive, you could say, okay, now great, now I'm going to take this guy for a while. That window of opportunity is extremely small. Like if you were willing to draft Jacoby Lane based off of little information all year, congratulations to you. But if you weren't, you basically got like a week-ish to get in, and then after that, it's like now you either have to chase him up into a more legitimate price or you have to wave goodbye.
I want my like gut instinct is to criticize that and to say, oh, these slappies, like they're so wrong. I actually think it's probably correct, because
it is
what
correct.
what ends up happening is that you're like, for example, like Gadsden is like legitimately undraftable right now. Isaac Tesla looking
I definitely don't think he's undraftable. I think we probably could or even should have taken him ahead of AJ Barner.
I am worried that Gadsden is Jared Wiley now. Like he's gonna run like 12 routes a game.
Yeah, I mean he could run 12 routes a game and he still might score more points than AJ Barner.
The tush push. You got the AJ Barner tush push. Do you do you have time to do one more? Or do you have to go?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. For sure. I mean, Mike Gesicki got drafted in this room. Like
I think so. That's where I actually moved him to my rankings, right next to Gesicki. Now he's not undraftable, but he is not draftable at his current price.
Yeah, I moved him like way down. But I still think that he is a pretty talented player.
I know he's a talented player. I'm very confident that he is a talented player. I just think that the things that he are talented at are not necessarily the things that McDaniel and Harbaugh are prioritizing at this stage.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clearly true for the moment. I do think it's possible that things can change over the course of a season, but the stock is definitely way down.
Gadsden is now, so what's happening is Kalar is Janu. Or not Janu, sorry. Durham Smythe.
Yeah,
Kalar's
exactly.
Durham Smythe. And there was for the Dolphins, there never was a Gadsden. There never was another guy. And I guess because the Janu season, Smythe was not there, correct? Or am I wrong about that? I guess
the
I
Janu
can
season, I think Smythe was still there for the Janu season.
All right, so the Janu season, this was in
if Smythe
2024.
wasn't, then Julian Hill certainly was.
Julian Hill was.
Like,
okay, so it was
Smythe,
Julian. Oh, there you
targets.
go. He was there.
They both were
all
there.
right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Gadsden is John. I will say they're certainly not treating him that way. All right.
No, I mean they clearly aren't. They are not woke to Oronde Gadsden. But I just think that the season is long and there's a lot of uncertainty in that offense, and like things could evolve in a way that's favorable for him over time. I mean, he definitely deserves to be downgraded because I do think that his week 1 expectation is probably to run like 9 routes.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, things happen. Like, I guess the question is like, I'd love to know why Mike McDaniel is doing the things that he's doing, because does he think Charlie Kolar is going to give them a legitimate pass catching presence at tight end? Because if he does, then I think he will be proven wrong. And then I think that Oronde Gadsden will probably get a chance. Is he doing it because he feels so good about his wide receivers that he doesn't really care that much about pass catching from the tight end position? He's more concerned about blocking. That's kind of how I'm perceiving it. And that's like one of the reasons I've gotten really into Trey Harris, because I'm starting to think maybe they run more 11 and they don't really target the tight end at all. But then it's also possible that we get a few weeks into the season and Mike McDaniel goes, oh, like, actually one or both of Trey Harris and Quentin Johnston suck. And so maybe I do want to go back to using tight ends more. Like, I don't know. This whole offense is interesting because I feel like there's a lot of players that are plausibly good, but no players that are good enough where I'm like, well, you can just lock in their role. It's just an entire offense with like 14 skill guys who I feel like have uncertain talent and role. And I would be actually very surprised if the offense was stable from week 1 through the season. Like I would be legitimately shocked if the week 1 plan looks like the week 17 plan. I feel like it's going to go through a lot of different phases over the course of a season.
I completely agree with you. I don't think the week 4 offense is going to look like the week 8 offense. I also think when you have so many guys that are like all very good and you don't have any superstar, you can be pretty malleable week to week in a way that a lot of teams don't have the luxury to do so. We are about to be up here with pick 2. We have Bijan. I don't like taking Bijan in London together.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
I'd be Nico here personally.
Yeah. Cool.
I have London ranked higher, but I agree with what you said, which is
yeah, I just don't love it. All right, Noel. Big decision spot here. What do you want to do?
Oh, man. I mean, if they're going to give me London in the third, I would probably just do it, especially because the only other guy I'd want is Love, and I don't want him right now, so.
Yeah. There's too much. There was too much Slurperino there, I think. I think to pass London at 26 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's usually how I've done it on my Bijan teams. Like, if London is there for me in the second, I don't do it. If the one who wants to give me round 3, Drake London, I just slurp it up.
It's true. Camp reports, preseason games, there's no edge. You need psychosocial workout photos of guys and where they are in relation to the quarterbacks. By the way, I think the Chargers will do 12 personnel. I think they'll play a fullback. I think there will be games where Brennan Thompson runs like 13 routes. And there will also be games where Brennan Thompson is a healthy scratch. KLS at some point will be activated and will play. Like, they have a lot of good players.
There will be 11 skill players who regularly play on a per game basis, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're going to be a nightmare showdown.
Which is team. Ladd, QJ, Harris, one of Brennan or KLS, Kohler, Njoku, Gadsden, Hampton, Mitchell, Vidal, and Alec Ingold. I think all 11 of those guys will like play 10 plus snaps per game in the regular season if everybody is healthy, which is like a rotation of 11 guys for 5 spots, which is interesting to try and project out.
Well, like on a lot of teams, you legitimately could not do it, but because Hampton is a second-year player, Ladd is a third-year player coming off of like a huge dip, means none of these guys have any right to be bitching about their playing time. Like, you're not going to have to deal with guys upset in the locker room. Like, it's just going to be, and theoretically, they are going to win some games this year, which is going to help keep everyone happy as well. So I'm with you. I think it's going to be, yeah. I mean, is Scott Matlock going to make the team and be playing Tucker Fisk?
Mean, I think that that's where I would draw the line. Like, because I think that the existence of both Charlie Kohler and Alec Ingold do in fact make Scott Matlock and Tucker Fisk quite useless. But that is the problem, is that everyone has such a specific role that one injury may not consolidate things as much as you want it to. Like, it's the kind of thing where Kohler could get hurt or Ingold could get hurt, and you're like, oh, sweet. Like, that's one peg out of the Kerplunk board. But like, then in fact, you do just learn Scott Matlock, who comes in to replace the missing Charlie Kohler snaps.
All right. What do you want to do here? This is a pretty big fall for Jacobs.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely grab Josh Jacobs right here.
Yeah, I have a hard time. Like, do I think Jacobs is like a really good pick? No. Do I think that at this price he's very good? Yeah. I mean, after DeAndre Swift, I think is very good. Wow, David Montgomery's still there. What do you want to do?
Probably Monty.
Are you sweating any bullets on Tuten at this reporting, or do we care? Do we care at all about any of the reporting?
I'm not sweating guys I have 6% of.
How do you have 6? Because you love Swift that much?
Yeah, I take a lot more Swift. I like Bucky more.
You like Bucky over Tuten?
Yeah.
Aren't they just the same thing, but one of them has a 9 RAS and one of them has a 3 RAS?
Aren't they just the same thing, but one of them's proven to be a really good NFL player?
You know, Bucky's had some good games. I don't know. I mean, yes, obviously he has accomplished much more in the NFL than Bucky Irving has. I think their situations are fair. Honestly, I think their situations are fairly similar, and that they're both going to be the trap back for Southern Florida football teams.
Yeah, I guess like, I mean, I think that there's a lot of similarities between them for sure. I mean, so my real answer is that this whole range, with the exception of Swift, I just don't think belongs in this range. But once like all of these kind of other like 5th round running backs, so this is like Irving, Tuten, Judkins, Henderson, Price, Montgomery. To me, like I've kind of swapped their rankings around most of the season, in parts responding to news and in part to align with ADP, but in part like to intentionally avoid anyone using my rankings from getting too consolidated on one guy. Because how I draft them is legitimately like I kind of randomize them. Like sometimes I take Bucky and sometimes I take Tuten and sometimes I take Judkins, and there's like archetypes where I think they do fill slightly different needs. So you can do that on a team by team basis. Like, are you looking for a floor of touches? Then you should probably take David Montgomery or Quinshon Judkins. Are you looking more for pure upside? I think that's where you want to look more at the Bucky, Tuten, Henderson group or Price. But so I think that they're all pretty interchangeable, and I don't have that much of an outsized position on any of them. Like I think for all of them, I would like to have somewhere between 6 to 12%. But Tuten has been one of the more expensive of that group, so he's probably going to be more on the 6 side than the 12 side. Yeah, I mean, like if I'm looking at Bucky versus Tuten in a vacuum, and I have to do one draft for my life, you were talking heart of hearts. Yeah, I would prefer to have Bucky Irving. Like, I watched in 2024 Bucky Irving steal someone's job and perform as one of the most efficient running backs in the National Football League. I've never seen Bhayshul Tuten do that. They are in pretty similar situations. Although, like, funnily enough, kind of the exact opposite, in which Tuten has a very non-threatening passing down back that he's paired with, but a very good goal line back. And then Irving has a very non-threatening goal line back, but a very good passing down back. And ironically, Tuten is probably the better goal line back, and Bucky's the better pass catching back. Right. So there are a lot of similar notes. I just my preference is the player that I think is better.
See, and I guess I just feel very confident that Tuten is good. I really do. All right, we are about to be up on the clock. You want to talk about a disgusting part of the board. I mean, what do you even do with this pick if you don't want a quarterback? What do you even do? I mean, we could take a quarterback. Yeah, which one?
I want a quarterback. I would probably take 2 quarterbacks. I'd probably just take Jayden Daniels and Jalen Hurts.
I think so. The issue, I don't hate it. I do think the issue you get in there is if we do take a quarterback here, is we are not gonna love our 3rd wide receiver. I would be down tier, but I am happy to take Jalen Hurts if you would like. Okay, you want Hurts?
Let's do this. Yeah, I think you're gonna enjoy this team more than you think you will.
I do this.
You know why you're going to love our 3rd receiver? Because our 3rd receiver is going to be Xavier Worthy, and our 4th receiver is going to be Matthew Golden.
I was going to say the chances that, by the way, obviously I love both those 2 guys. You know what I got to do when I was down in Austin with Mason? I got to drive through the University of Texas Austin campus. So I got to, nice. we're driving to go get dinner, and Mason's like, oh, here's the campus, yada, yada, here's this. And I'm like, dude, think about how many times Xavier Worthy, Matthew Golden, Adonai Mitchell, Gunnar Helm, think about how many times they drove right down this exact street. I was like, I'm on hollowed ground right here. So that was cool. Here's my concern about Daniels for fantasy, actually, is now that I don't really want to draft Chig and Diggs is expensive, I just find that most of the time I end up with Daniels naked,
yeah, I have no problem.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean,
Just
I
don't
take
love
one
it.
of their running backs on half my teams, so I haven't stacked
That's
up with the
also
running
true.
back consistently. I I do take far less. It used to be easier to stack them late because I drafted a lot of Chig under the possibility that they didn't sign Stephon Diggs, and I drafted a lot of Stephon Diggs under the possibility that they did sign Stephon Diggs. So most of my previous Daniels teams came with one of those two, if not both, and one of their running backs. But I personally have like absolutely no issue drafting mobile quarterbacks naked. Like I don't feel a deep burning need to have Jayden Daniels or Jalen Hurts stacked.
Yeah.
I'd like
that's fine. Are you okay? Well, we're not even gonna, are you moving Mekhi Lemon down very, very much? I moved him
Yeah, I
down a
moved him
good
down a
bit.
lot. I
Yeah.
moved him down a ton.
Yeah.
I moved him down a ton. I'm at 87 right now. I mean, I've been taking him some in the Eliminator. I've got him in the Eliminator in like the 110s. Which I obviously understand why he would fall a lot in the Eliminator, but that's an interesting piece. That's an interesting price for him. Anyways, and I've taken him some as he's fallen because he has been falling a lot, but I definitely think it's worth him falling.
Yeah. There's I meant to actually bring this up in the middle of our running back conversation. I'm gonna come back there for a second, which is I think if it were not for the inertia force of average draft position, that Jadarian Price would be going where Jacob Swift and ETN is after what we just saw in the preseason.
What about the preseason?
Charbonnet was like still playing in the second quarter with Jalen Milroe. Yeah, Halani, sorry. I guess a lot of
they
people
don't have
are
that many
scared of
active
Sharps.
running backs.
Emmanuel Wilson didn't play. He might be hurt though. He might be hurt.
He is hurt. He is hurt.
There you
That's
go.
what I'm saying. Like they didn't have Price was hurt, Wilson was hurt, Sharps is hurt. So like someone had to play running back.
Do you want to do the double UT or do you want to take Diggs? Yeah.
Let's take Diggs with Daniels if that's going to be available to us.
Yep. Fine by me, and then we can take our favorite of the Texas guys. Which, frankly, I changed my answer on this by the day, but which one do you prefer?
Yeah, I also changed my answer based on the day, and I like them both, but probably Golden.
I think Golden is actually, he's probably better just because he's a little bigger. That really honestly is it. Like, it really, yeah, I could come up with a lot of like bullshit whatever reasons, but the answer is just that Worthy weighs 170 and Golden is like 183, I think. And so I think that just minimizes the chance. Like Worthy, the team account posted a picture of him the other day, and I was like, this is insane that this guy chose to play football for a living. He's so small, dude. I actually do think he probably is good, and the limiting factor in his life as a football player is just that he's too small. He is so skinny, dude. I don't know.
He's really skinny. This is, by the way, like maybe you don't like it quite as much, but I love this build.
This is a great team. No, being able to get Golden at these prices is a good, like, it's the reason that these builds work. Like Golden's profile is no different than Brian Thomas Jr. Like Brian Thomas Jr. obviously much better NFL player.
I would argue he is like a very slightly weighted coin flip to be the highest scoring Green Bay Packers receiver. And Christian Watson goes like 5 rounds earlier.
I mean, that is the way my quant has it. If memory serves, my quant has 185 points for both of them.
Yeah, I think that Watson certainly has the higher floor because we have a track record of him
that he's good,
being good, right? So unless Watson gets hurt, he's like clearly going to be a worthwhile player. But if we're just looking at their like 50 percentile and above outcomes, I actually think that they're quite similar. And
Yeah,
I might
I
even
think you're
like
right.
Golden's ceiling a little bit more. It's more the floor that I think Watson is obviously has a higher floor. And I would argue that the same applies at running back. So like had we not taken Montgomery, for instance, and we had taken JMO,
Hmm.
um, I would argue that like Jacory Croskey-Merritt instead of Matthew Golden has a very similar range of outcomes to Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle, who would have been the running backs that we could have taken instead of the second quarterback. In fact, in my like home league redraft rankings, I legitimately have Bill ranked ahead of Tony Pollard.
Bill is a better home league pick. Yeah, just like way better range of outcomes. They're mostly not drafted as starters. Bill had, I believe, Bill scored more points than Pollard last year anyway. Like as
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I just
pretty
think that like
close.
whether you're looking at receiver or running back, that the picks available to you in round 7 are like completely the same as the picks available to you in round 9. But I think that that's pretty obviously not true of quarterback, where like Jayden Daniels and Jalen Hurts, you're now comparing to like Jared Goff. Kittle's probably a fun pick here.
Yeah, you know what? This is the only opinion that Peter has about football this year is that George Kittle is a good pick. So I will follow Peter as my qual here. What would you like to do now?
Uh, yeah, fine. Let's have fun. Like, let's do Stribbler if you want.
Stribling or Keaton or C-Rod?
Um, heart, my fear-based heart says Stribbling. My brain says C-Rod.
Well, my fingers were not nimble enough, so we got Stribling
All right.
anyway.
My brave heart would be Keaton. My fearful heart would be Stribbling. My quant brain would be, honestly, my quant brain would probably like Travis Kelce.
Quant brain is definitely Kelce. Yeah, quant brain is Kelce, not close. Slap brain is Keaton for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you at on your Keaton Mitchell journey right now?
Pretty positive on him. Yeah. We did actually, I'll plug it because we did our first premium draft stream over on the Longview. We did we released it yesterday, but it came out, we drafted on Friday night. And we did what I've not done much of this year, which is a hero RB team. So we took Taylor in the first round. We took Bowers. Then we took like 5 receivers and a quarterback in the next 6 picks. And then we ended up taking, I might be messing up the names, but I think we took something along the lines of Dobbins, Bill, C-Rod, Keaton, like all in a row. Maybe Mason instead of Dobbins or something like that. And it was a build that I ended up really, really liking and made me intrigued to draft even more of. But yeah, Keaton, I think is super fun. I mean, the quote from Mike McDaniel about how you're not going to know, which running back to start in fantasy or whatever. I think that there's a way that you can interpret that as bearish or bullish. For Marion Hampton, like the bearish being obviously that he's going in round 2, and the coach is telling you that you may or may not want to start him in fantasy. The bullish way is that he was talking about how much he's going to involve all the running backs, and I think in conjunction with some of the weird tight end stuff, with like them prioritizing non-pass catching tight ends, tells you that I think that they probably want to involve their running backs in pretty creative ways, which we should have already expected.
Right.
And I do think that there's going to be a pretty large pie. There's no bad way to interpret that quote for Keaton Mitchell, obviously. If they want to use the running backs in creative ways, and he's the guy who is expected to not play that much, and, if the coach is talking about wanting to play them more, I think it's all positive. I guess that you're not the only one who's not able to get Los Angeles-based players that you have ranked considerably above ADP, because now Trey Harris just went
is
in the
moving.
130s.
Yeah, Trey Harris moving. I mean, it is that type. Is that time of year? So we got to take a running back.
Is there anyone more undraftable than Tyrone Tracy right now?
Yeah, his teammate Isaiah Likely. It's really bad. What would you like to do? I mean, ADP just like does not exist here. Who do you want?
Yeah. I mean, we may as well take Chig for stacking purposes.
Yeah. Yeah, we can take Chig. And
We
then
need a tight end anyway.
This is the range where I'm ready to start just moving running backs. Like, it's just a running back has a good weekend. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take Jayden.
I really like Jonah Coleman on this team. Like, we have a lot of safety in our top 3 running backs, and I thought he looked fantastic in the preseason.
He looked good. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And like the issue with Jonah Coleman is he's very likely a stone zero for the first 4 weeks. But I would be pretty surprised if we need a whole lot of extra running back points in the first month of the season with Jacobs, Montgomery, and Bijan.
Yeah. All right. So that gives us now a team of Jayden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Jonah Coleman, Nico Collins, Drake London, Stephon Diggs, Matthew Golden, Dejon Stribling, George Kittle, and Chig Okonkwo. I've barely taken Chig since Diggs has signed, but I think that feels appropriate.
Yeah, I still think he's a fine enough pick. Like, I definitely moved him down in my rankings for sure, but I still think he's fine. And part of why I think he's fine is that a lot of the tight ends that were in the range that I would have moved him down into have also had bad things happen to them. So we've talked about Gadsden, of course. Like, he used to be in that range. His spot's been totally blown up. Isaiah Likely was playing like less than 50% of the snaps with the
Isaiah Likely is the same pick as Aronde Gadsden, but the people who draft Isaiah Likely can't read.
If you're like, this is maybe more, this might completely not come to pass, but if you're in the weeds on Dallas Cowboys snap reports, I think that there's a little bit of risk actually that Jake Ferguson goes from being like an 85% of routes guy to a 70% of routes guy because they seem genuinely infatuated with Brevin Spanford as a blocking option. Then you have Kenyon Sadiq got hurt. I mean, the only guy here, we just took him in the first one. I guess we could have just taken him again. But the guy that I'm really, really targeting constantly is Juwan. And his situation has improved, of course, since the injury to Jordan Tyson. But I don't know, like if Hunter Henry's another one, like I think he has some concerns. He has some Eli Raritan concerns. So yeah, I mean, even if Chig is the third target, they also played a crap ton of 12 in the preseason. It doesn't seem like they're all that in love with Antonio Williams. So if they're like a base 12 team, Chig's routes are going to be fine, and then it's just a matter of earning targets. He's still, I think, pretty clearly the best yards after catch guy of their pass catchers. Like, Diggs is really old and is not a yak guy. Terry McLaurin has never been a yak guy.
All right, we are about to be back up, and again, this is like really we could take.
I know he's in my heart.
Can't take T Ferg. Who's in your heart?
Oh, that was who was in my heart. Did he just go?
He just went.
Well, I feel like I've been shot.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Let's take.
Yeah, take your guy. Take your guy, Adonai.
I have him
on the team
that
with
way.
Omar Cooper still on the board. We just did the thing.
I have him ranked that way. I changed my ranks.
Okay, I want Emmett Johnson.
Emmett Johnson? I bet he's already gone. Nope, there he is.
All right.
There you go. That's fine by me. People are gonna accuse me of being week 1 brained, but I'm not. Guys, I promise you Adonai Mitchell is a good pick. Might not work out, but I like legitimately promise you guys he's a good pick. You have that from my heart of hearts.
The similarities between the Jets and Eagles are remarkable. So like both of them, you have a star receiver, star wide receiver 1 that is currently being drafted in the 3rd or 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
You have structural concerns, be that Geno Smith sucking or Jalen Hurts not throwing very many passes. And then you have a round 1 wide receiver who's had a less than inspiring camp due to injuries or play. You have a slappy wide receiver on their second team who seems plausibly in line to be the wide receiver 2 and who the beat writers are telling you is going to play consistently above the rookie. And then you have a a rookie tight end drafted in the first 2 rounds. It's just interesting. I don't know if there's anything actionable there, but it's interesting to me how many similarities. Oh, they also wear green, so
they also wear green. They are also both either next to or close to the Eastern Seaboard. No one likes their fans. Everyone. Well, I guess if the Jets were ever going to be good, people would dislike their fans, but I think people probably mostly feel bad. I'll say a bull signal, if you are looking to find one, would be that Ron generally is like the most pessimistic Jets fan ever, and he seems pretty excited this year about the Jets.
About the Jets?
Yeah. For fantasy. I don't think we're winning and losing games.
I definitely think it's possible that the Jets will look more... Good's not the right word.
More adult.
Yeah, like they might be a real team this year. They might be more...
Yeah. I know that Devonta Smith, I have no real opinions about him. I know Jacob loves Devonta Smith for fantasy.
I mean, there's a limit to how much I can love him, and I think his price is probably at that limit.
Right.
But I definitely think he's a absolute stud, and I think that his outlook has gotten better for sure. Like, you know, the more that Lemon is going to be slow rolled, and you know, the more that Stowers is like potentially not even going to play. I mean, that's eliminating paths for things to get less consolidated, right? So,
right.
If Stowers is a complete non-factor this year, and if Lemon is going to be, you know, on a more gradual path, and he's mostly competing with Wicks and Goddard, like, yeah, I mean, I think Smith is really amazing. It's tough. Like, there's not going to be that many dropbacks.
Who would you like to select here?
We're being recommended Geno, but do we have 2 quarterbacks or 1 quarterback right now?
Let's just take Jeremy. As our third wide receiver. I would like
we took 2 really early quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's just showing the stack. That just highlights the stack.
Right.
Can I interest you in Darren Waller, number 35?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do that. That number is horrendous, by the way. What are we doing with that? Is he trying to
bad?
Is he trying to tell us that he's like going to score a lot of touchdowns by wearing Mike Tolbert's old number?
I assume it's because he is 35. He's only 33. He's only 33, so I actually have no idea why he's wearing 35.
That's like 35 is unbelievably unacceptable for a tight end.
35 is that's like an H-back number. But Darren Waller, it's kind of one of those things. I actually truly believe this about tight end, that these dudes who have like an elite trait can play forever. Like Kelsey's elite trait is he just like is the all-time zone beater. Like he's the best at it ever. And Waller's elite trait, I guess, what would his physical trait be? I guess maybe
Waller?
He just is so good at scoring touch. Yeah, being fast, I guess.
Like maybe he's not still fast, but I think he kind of is, because he still had more high ADOT stuff than like 95% of tight ends last year.
NFL Next Gen stats. I want to see if I can get Waller's top speed from last year. Stats, fastest ball carriers 2025. None for Waller on the first page.
I think it's really that he is obviously not like super fast, but he's, I think, still pretty darn fast, and he is very, very tall, and he has very long arms, and so the combination of that running down a seam is pretty appealing in terms of a guy that you want to throw like 25 yards to. I mean, the like everlasting image I have of Darren Waller's game is just running like a 25-yard seam route with a linebacker slightly behind him and his head pointing away from the quarterback, and you could just kind of throw it over the linebacker's helmet, and Darren Waller will both have a half a step of separation and will be much taller and can just catch it above said linebacker's helmet.
Completely agree. All right, we
are
are
2.573. So we're probably running back or receiver here.
I think with this running back room with Montgomery, Coleman, and Emmett, a lot of potential zeros there. I think we should probably take a running back.
I think that there's something to be said for taking Michael Penix with Bijan in London.
Michael, yeah, you know what? I'm actually fine with that.
I won't be entertaining Tua. They're telling me to take Tua. We're not doing that.
I'm actually fine to take Michael Penix Jr. Penix seems pretty likely to be playing by the end of the year. Yeah.
Like the Sims wanted us to take Tua, but if we just replace the Sims with my personal outputs for the Falcons season, then the Sims would be telling us to take Michael Penix.
I saw some of the most.
That's maybe something that changed me on preseason. I no interest.
I was going to say I saw some of the most insane tweets from Falcons fans. I was just like, "Oh, this is all so dark, man." They were like already ready to commit crimes after one preseason game.
Someone tweeted, "I happily sat through 17 games of Desmond Ridder, but I don't think I have the heart for this Tua shit."
It's crazy, man. Like, I guess it's just what is, because Tua was certainly a passable NFL quarterback for a long time. Is it just current meta is no good for him? The injuries caught up to him. Like, what is it with him? Because he was kind of good, dude. He really was.
Yeah, I mean, the injuries I think are a big part of it, and like multiple different types of injuries, right? I mean,
yes, his brain.
Because he used to be a lot more mobile at Alabama than he is right now, and his arm used to not be quite as sad. So I think that the hip injury, like zapped a lot of his mobility, and I think a lot of the torsion in his arm strength. And then the head injuries, I'm not really sure. I mean, interestingly, our round 17 pick, Darren Waller, was like he was writing about it recently or interviewed about it, and he was talking about how he feels like Tua is a lot better in practice than in games, and that he's experiencing like some level of hesitation because of all the head injuries.
That actually that's actually fascinating. That because that actually totally makes sense to me, that in a situation where he knows that he's not going to get his head smashed, that he's going to feel better. And that obviously the coaches are making a lot of decisions based off of practice. Like they're seeing him in practice every day. That was like a famous thing. I mean, there's a lot of players that you can describe that to, but I remember that being a Tebow thing, was that everyone would be like, Tebow looks like the worst player of all time in practice. Like he just looks awful. And then he would go in the game and get these great results. I don't know. Shout out to Tim Tebow, I guess. But yeah, there are practice players and then there are game players, and it would make sense that Tua would be a game player.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm betting pretty heavily that Michael Penix will be the quarterback in the late season. Part of that is also not even Tua's fault, but that they lost Jalen Walker for the season, and then they lost James Pierce Jr. for half the season, which pretty much completely crumples their defense. So I do think Tua starts week 1 for like health-based reasons, although it hasn't even been announced yet. But I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see the Tua experience going particularly well. I think their defense is going to be horrific without those 2 edge rushers, and I expect them to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. So if that's possible, then then they probably get Michael Penix in there pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm with you.
For Mark asked, how can Helani keep going undrafted? I mean, he's certainly in my ranking, so I think he's a completely viable round 18 pick. But I think that the biggest reason is that the Charbonnet news has been very positive. So if Zach Charbonnet is back active like week 3, week 4, I think you can very reasonably debate how much that matters for Jadarian Price.
He's got pressure both ways, right? So he's got end of season pressure and beginning of season pressure.
Right. And it's like part of the case that I would make for Price in the event that Charbonnet does in fact come back ahead of schedule is, okay, what does Charbonnet look like coming back ahead of schedule? Because Zach Charbonnet pre-injury was not exactly the most exhilarating player in the world. And if you make him even less explosive, less durable, Like what is that player, and is it really all that threatening for Jadarian Price? Like, or is he just a guy who's going to be like trusted in pass protection and stuff that doesn't really require all that much athleticism? But I think if he's on the field at all, it's curtains for George Kalani, right? Like the second that Zach Charbonnet is active, he's at least taking over the George Kalani role.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. All right, Jacob, tell the people what is coming up on Thinking About Thinking and the long view.
Yeah, so thinking about thinking, I have my Home League redraft guide up that was posted over a week ago now, but that's probably the biggest piece of content that I've had up and will have up. I had a smaller article up last week. I'm going to have my goals to have something up for auction drafts this week. Long view. We have our regular episode out from last week, and we have a premium episode. So if you sign up at our Patreon, you can go see us draft. We did some BBMs in this first one. We're very likely going to do a main event or two eventually that will also be in the premium streams. And then I'm going to I'll give this away to the people in this chat and this chat only if it's a secret between me and you, because Liam won't let us spoil this. But there are 5 spots left in a draft 6.5 hours from now that you will be able to see on YouTube with myself and Ron Stewart and Liam Murphy.
Wow, the Ricky Person draft, dude.
Yeah, that will be airing in 6.5 hours on a site called ffpc.com. But
all right,
Liam won't allow this information to get into the general public because he's concerned about being stream sniped, and he wants to only compete against randoms.
He's the worst. All right, man.
He's the best.
No
disrespect my ghost.
It is Liam Summer. I found basically everything that this dude has done this summer to be insanely endearing. I'm a big Liam fan. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunlight.
Happy
See you soon.
Here. Will do. See you soon. Bye.
All right, GM. Dude just had to sit there in the cuck chair and listen to us talk about the quarterbacks of his favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons. We are going to hop in a drafters survivor. 7 more people to join there. Promo code Davis, 100% deposit bonus, Davis 10 for a reload bonus. PPR, my gainfully employed full-time fantasy football guy who is doing a 24-hour stream this weekend. How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How are you, man? It's the first day of 2 days today, so I'm a little drained from the sun, but it was a good day. So it's the first day is always kind of, whatever. It's like kind of the worst day because it's a lot of instruction. It's a lot of we're just reviewing everything we did for the summer because you got kids who, weren't there during the summer, even though you really should be. But it's just starting from zero again, and you kind of just want to go fast. So a lot of instruction today, but it was pretty good.
Well, there you go. How has been your integration as a full-time fantasy football employee? Have you soared? Have you been reprimanded for anything yet?
I've not been reprimanded for anything yet. No, honestly, my first day was really actually on I got onboarded on Friday. So I haven't really had a chance to get reprimanded yet, but I'm sure it'll come. It'll come, sooner or later. It's just, you just got to take it in stride. It's honestly, I kind of relate it back to coaching. It's they don't want to hear an excuse. You just I when I yell at a kid, I don't want to hear but this, but that. I want to hear yes, sir, and that's all I want to hear. And then I'll get over it.
Is anyone sponsoring the 24-hour live stream?
No, I haven't. I haven't tried to get a sponsor for the 24-hour live stream. So no, you want to sponsor it? You can sponsor it.
I don't want to sponsor it, but that would be an idea for you. Reach out.
All right, yeah,
reach out. There's always someone. There's always money in the banana stand, brother.
Yeah. It'll be sponsored by allegedly Superflex Drafts is what it'll be sponsored by.
Allegedly. Is that this week's Frenchie? Is it going to be a Superflex?
Yeah, let's just say I'm not going to say too much, but let's just say there's 150 Superflex, 150 max Superflex contest coming.
Now, what are you going to do because the Frenchie contests have filled very quickly? What are you going to do if it fills by the end
of 150 max. It's 150 max. I'll be fine.
The Frenchie
it's not going to be a Frenchie. It's not going to be a Frenchie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal that's going to bum me out about that is that I am not set up in my life to do 150 fast super flex drafts right now. And slow draft time is over, brother.
Yeah.
It's over. I can't enter anymore. So this actually might be the first 150 max that they drop that I am out on. That I'm not doing. That's a bummer. I'll definitely enter some, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do 150. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited too. I'll probably have enough. I think I'll have enough time to fast draft all of them. I should have enough.
I would hope in the new part of your life you would have enough time.
Yeah.
Now,
well, I had enough time last time they dropped it, so I should be good. That was like pre-draft though.
Here's another thing you need to do. You need to use your newfound connections in the industry. You need to reach out. You need some site credits.
Maybe. What if I already got some? What if I already got some site credits?
Well, I hope you have. I would hope you have some.
We got some site credits on some sites on one site.
Well, I was gonna say you got how many site credits from the Deal or No Deal 750? Was that right?
800.
800. Yeah. So you got some site credits.
Yeah, we got some site credits there. We got some site credits from another site, and then obviously the Tower just struck a deal with drafters. So I won't use, this is a David show, so I won't use code, whatever. But so we got some site credits over there too.
Hey, you know what? If you guys want to use code, was it code Tower?
Code Toxic or code Tower. You can use either one.
Yeah, do whatever you need to do. Just hop in on drafters. My deal with them. I mean, I have a CPA, but they really just want people on the site in general anyway. So that's fine.
Yeah.
People this weekend in Austin, people kept fucking my name up left, right, and center. They were calling me Danny Mattel, brother. I was not loving it. I was not loving being called Danny Mattel.
All right. I don't know if we've talked about this yet. I don't want to bring up a sore subject, but have you addressed the jugs machine yet?
I've not talked about it yet. So two things. First off, it was legitimately so much harder than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Like, we were out there, we were throwing them around. I was having a blast. I was like, we were ripping fastballs at each other, able to catch it. Jugs machine is like a whole different thing. The other thing was I was way too jazzed up, dude. I was I think you can probably tell from like looking at me sitting, waiting to catch it. I was way too amped up, dude. My heart was going crazy. So it was not great. I got a gnarly, you can see.
Oh no, the jugs.
I mean, it dude, like, I think my last one was 50 or 55. Like they were zooming in there.
I gotta go back and watch the entire draft order video because I didn't watch the entire thing, but I saw the short that they posted of you, and I got
cooked. I
can't imagine the other guys. No offense, to my fellow fantasy football analysts, but I can't imagine that they did like really good.
So
who did really good? Did anyone do like really good?
I mean, Sal obviously is like,
okay.
Sal is like an athlete.
Okay.
I mean, frankly, I would say, Nathan from Domain was he was just very impressive. Like I would not have guessed. He was a soccer player in high school, so he was like, relatively athletic. And then Zufa, the fan number 2, he at 60 miles an hour, he took one right to the chest. Like his whole chest turned red immediately.
Yeah.
But he held on. So
there you go.
Shout out.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. We are about to be up at 12:13. What are your preferences, brother?
I mean, I'm Jefferson here all day.
Yep.
I mean, am I just a crazy person for wanting HN in full PPR?
No, I mean, my instinct was that, like, I have liked HN right about market the whole time, right above market the whole time. But I was just telling Jacob, I was like very impressed by what Miami did. Like Malik coming out and just like looking that competent. I kind of thought it would be the opposite. I thought he'd come out 2 punts and that would be it, and it would be done. But like he
Mhm.
made a couple, that the throw that he made that Caleb Douglas couldn't get his feet down in, that was not his fault. That was like a great strike.
Yeah, I mean, there's these teams every year. It's we get one a year where it's like we think they're going to be the worst offense in the league, and then they're like actually fun or good or competent. Like last year was the Colts. Like they were supposed to be the worst team in the league, worst offense in the league, and then they come out
Seahawks.
and it's like
People were
Seahawks too.
drafting.
Yeah, yeah.
People were drafting Jalen Milroe, and then Sam Darnold won a fucking Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we get these teams every year. Like could be like who are you like your would the Dolphins be your front runner for the team to just shock people like but considering like they're like the candidates would be Seahawks or not sorry Dolphins, Browns, who else would it be? Probably maybe Titans, someone like that. I don't know about Cardinals. They just got a lot of weapons there.
Yeah.
Like, who's the team that's going to shock somebody? It feels like it's kind of like the Browns, the Dolphins, or like everyone's drafting them to be like bottom 2.
Dolphins feel more likely to me just because I think there's more range of outcomes with Malik Willis. Browns, I would be so stunned if they got good quarterback play. Like at least with the Seahawks. I mean, Sam Darnold had just won 14 games. So like and Clint Kubiak had before everyone got hurt for the Saints, their offense was actually really good. I mean, the Jets maybe Geno.
Oh yeah, Jets are a good one too. Yeah.
I
Giants?
don't think it'll.
No, they're not Giants.
I don't think it'll
I'm
be the
done.
Raiders. I mean, the Raiders I think could be okay, but I don't think. I would be surprised if like the Jets or Raiders could even come close to the postseason. I mean, the Jets division is so good. I guess is the issue. Like you basically are given 4 losses right there.
Yeah.
With the Bills and the Patriots. I mean, football is a weird sport, though.
Yeah. Also, too, I wasn't on my phone like all day today because football. But is Breece Hall okay? Is he dead?
He's got a groin injury. Aaron Glenn said it's not supposed to be that bad, but they're going to do some more tests and stuff like that.
All
so
right.
we'll see. I mean, I'm not that. I'm much more worried about the Jeremiah Love thing if we're looking at the 2 injured running backs, because high ankle sprains, guys generally will be able to come back from them, but they don't play as well. They get back, but their explosiveness is limited. So I'm and he didn't like losing carries to Algier is bad anyway. So I'm a smidgen worried about what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, would you take him if he falls? Like if he falls to the 3-4 turn, are you taking him there?
Yeah, this is where right about where I have him ranked. But I had him as like a target in the second round, and now, and I mean, in this contest, he's a little bit less interesting too because it's the 25% chop every week one.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, wait, yeah. So I'm not familiar with this contest. So this one it's the survival one. So it's like. What's the format?
So it's similar to the Eliminator, but not exactly. It goes, so every week, about 75% of the field advances. So you've got 21,000 to 15 to 11 to 8,000 to 6,000 to 4,000 all the way down. And then it's a relatively larger final instead of 3 people. It is a 125 person final.
Got it. Okay. So there's a little week 17 over on Drafters as well then.
A little week 17. And Jeremiah Love is still there. I mean, I would still take him. I would still take him here for sure.
You got it.
Yeah, and I mean, huge fall here actually. Like we're about to be, because he's basically, it's kind of funny. No one knew he hurt his ankle, and he looked so good in that preseason game that he was up to pick 18, pick 19, pick 20. And then it turns out he hurt his ankle. And then they said his ankle wasn't that bad. And then Schefter said he has a high ankle sprain. And now he's like legitimately falling.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about the discourse surrounding like the usage of Jeremiah Love in week 1 of the preseason? Dumb, or do you just not care?
I mean, it's maybe like a little dumb, but at the same point, these guys are like, they're playing football,
Yeah.
Like it's just like, should you kind of keep your stars wrapped up in the preseason? Sure. I would take Breece here.
Yeah, I'm fine with. I think Breece for sure. And then, I mean, PPR is it like I hate just going the top two guys, but like Igbuka or Loveland. I like both one of those guys here.
Let's do Loveland. I'm actually, of all these guys, I'm probably, even though the updates haven't been that bad, I'm worried about Igbuka because the way it sounded is that he has turf toe. Like they said, like you have a sprained toe. And
Yeah.
yeah, actually someone was just telling me this in the comments of my redraft channel that all toe sprains are not created equal. Like it's very possible it's not turf toe, but turf toe is a toe sprain. And that makes me big worried.
I will say Todd Bowles is like the ultimate injury fear monger, where he just is going to say whatever he wants. And then we're all going to take it at face value, where he like, remember with Bucky, he's like, yeah, Bucky may be back in the fall. Like, like that whole thing. And then he had the comment about McMillan. He said something really bad about McMillan. Now McMillan's back at practice. Like, I think he just does this. Like, it's just and because they just asked him about Igbuka, and he said, like, they asked him about week 1, and like, we don't know. Like, I don't really think whatever he says about injuries matters at all. I'm not Mr. Coach speak, but I would argue that his coach speak reliability is probably 32nd in the league. It's I was gonna say
it's got to be so low. I feel like he's always just saying something out of pocket that it is never ends up being like that true. I completely agree. So you're very high on Loveland, huh?
I like Loveland a lot. He feels like he could lead this team in receiving yards. I think like there's a pretty good chance that he does. Like he is one of those guys where like I think he is like a Bowers McBride type of guy. If he can just finish, like build upon that season that like from the end of last year to this upcoming season, like especially if you look at what he did in the playoffs too, like he's like the third down guy, he's the go-to guy, like he is like I think their most trusted weapon, and like he's just an absolute freak. So I really like Loveland kind of in there. Like I think like if you ask me who I need to score more points this year, I'd probably say Loveland over McBride. Like I think he's that kind of good of a player. Like I think he's right up there with Bauer. So to get him at that, a round or 2-round discount from those top two guys feels pretty good.
So are you lower on Burden then?
I mean, I think they can both be good. I don't think you really have to be in or out on one of the guys, especially when like that offense is pretty consolidated. It's not a lot, like there's not a ton of guys. It's pretty much just 3. It's Loveland, it's Roman, it's Burden. Like there's not many. You get Swift out of the backfield and like the other guys, but it's pretty much just those 3 guys.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do. I think you're right. I'm lower on Adunze. I've struggled to be as high on Loveland because Burden is the one that I'm hitching my wagon to, but like I'm fine to get exposed. I'm fine to just get a little bit more exposure to Loveland, and like the high stakes stuff, like the tight end premium. It's going to be so hard for me to get Loveland teams because he's so expensive. Mm-hmm. So happy to add more of him in best ball. We are about to be up in a couple picks here. We've got Achane, Breece, Jefferson, Lump. This is actually a sick team. These are all players I do really like. What are you thinking about here? Is Parker Washington gone? Yeah. Oh yeah. Parker Washington went at 47.
Yeah.
Train has left the station. All right. What do you want to do?
I mean, Bucky feels like the value. I kind of like Bucky here at it's 60. After you like Lamar, you like someone, you like a receiver here.
I think just like structurally, we got to take a receiver.
I'd be Tate here if it's a receiver. Go Cardinal Tate.
Man,
I'm not worried about the Tennessee stuff. Like
I'm worried. I'm
not worried because here's the thing, man. Like I just think it takes every offense goes at a different pace. They progress it at a different pace. Like you see some of these teams where it's like, oh, after the bye, like they absolutely killed it. It's like you got a young QB, you have a new play caller where it's like I bet it's a pretty intricate offense that Daboll's running, and you got a ton of young guys. So like the fact that we see one preseason game against the Niners are in theory a pretty good team. It's like I just don't think we should expect to see a well-oiled machine in week 1 of the fucking preseason. And it's like, and like they still scored a touchdown. Like, yeah, did Cam Ward like look bad? Yes, but it's like that's why you put these guys out there like to make mistakes. Like maybe that's just the coach minding me. Like yeah, do you want to see fireworks on week 1 of the preseason? Of course, everybody does, but I really do think that you should like. I'm trying really hard not to get caught up in week 1 preseason talk because it is week 1 of the preseason. We still have a month until there's actual games played. It's like, I don't want to get, too high or too low just because I see something in the preseason for a quarter. Like, that's what I'm really trying not to do.
I should be more like you, but I was already worried about Cam Ward in that offense. Like, you add in Carnell Tate, you bring Calvin Ridley back in, you add in Singleton, you've got Gunnar Helm as like a starting tight end, and like this is just what it is. It was just the optics, dude. Willis looked like so calm and composed, and he was just like delivering strikes, and Ward looked just as frantic and lost as the last time we saw him.
Yeah, and I get it too. Like, Ward didn't look great, but again, if it's week 1, then I'll be like panicking, or like maybe like week 2, week 3. But I'm willing to give it a little bit more time because it's like, what if he just didn't play at all? No one would care. Like, if he just didn't play, it's like, oh, whatever, we'll just draft it kind of the same way. But like, what if he goes out there in week 2 and he throws 2 touchdowns in a quarter or something, like on 2 drives, something like that? Like, I think then it's just like, oh, like I put way too much stock. Like I got really heated about this like a couple days ago, where like someone was coming to my chat. They're like, dude, did you see Jonathan Brooks when he had 3 carries for 5 yards? Like, talk about a guy being dead. It's like, we're doing this shit off 3 carries. Like, what are we talking? Like, I think Jeff Mull, he said in his post he was being facetious, but he was talking about like, we're seeing the high ankle sprain with Scadabo and Judkins, 3 carries for 5 yards and whatever the hell Scadabo had. Like, I just really don't want to get caught up in that game where it's, I don't want to do that whole thing.
I don't want to be sweating preseason performance that much, particularly for running backs, where it's literally like it might be the backup offensive line. Like, there are a lot of reasons to not sweat about that. Like, I actually don't think it's that big of a deal that Katron Allen averaged 3 yards a carry or whatever. Like, it just is what it is. But and with Brooks, I think the most absolutely bullish thing you can imagine is Jonathan Brooks being healthy enough to play in a preseason game and then not get injured in that preseason game. So I'm all in on that. I just wanted to see some signs of improvement from Ward. Like, one great, like, calm decision where the strike was I would have been like, yeah, man, give me that. Show me what I saw at Miami, dude.
Yeah, I get it. We'll see. Hopefully, I don't even know when they play next, but yeah, that'll be like one to watch. Like, if it looks bad in every single preseason game, then maybe it's like, but that last week of drafts where you're just like, then I might start to take it at face value. But until then, I'm gonna try and relax.
Are you worried about this Tyson hamstring injury? Because I'm very worried about it.
Who's not? Like, the guy who literally
he's barely falling in drafts. He's really, like, I bet he goes before we get up at 84, 85.
I think it's just not good. Like, he's got the Christian Watson thing. He needs to go see whoever the hell Christian Watson saw about his hamstring. That's what he needs to do.
He needs to. I mean, MarShawn Lloyd went to go see him, and he fixed himself up. Maybe we'll find out Jonathan Brooks saw him too.
Like, the guy who, like, it's like, I don't know, if it's a guy that's not like Lemon is a little different, where it's like, okay, he's got the hamstring thing, like, but he doesn't have a history of injuries. Where Tyson, that's literally the thing. It's like, this isn't out of nowhere. Like, this has kind of been his MO his entire college career. So, and and the fact that it's like it's the same hamstring, right? The one that he's like, it's been borderline like 8 months that he's been dealing with this thing. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. All right. And I don't think I want to take him here in this format where he's not.
I don't think I do either. No, yeah,
likely
I'm good.
Not going to be available in week 1. What do you want to do?
Okay, we could talk about this guy after, because I'm interested to hear your take on Kraft, but I don't want to go him here. I would go. Oh, yikes! Yeah, you want QJ? I don't.
No.
Yeah, okay,
I'll take anyone, but I don't.
You were hovering,
like QJ.
So I didn't know. The receiver here I would take is probably just Diggs. I'd probably just rip Diggs here.
Diggs,
and then we get the 3 receivers. I think we need another receiver or QB. No, I think it's another receiver here. I don't love QJ. Can you scroll down a little bit? Is Addison still there? I would just be Addison here personally. Oh no, we have Jefferson. Never mind. No, we have Jefferson. Let's go Wilson. I'm actually in on some of the stuff he's doing. So I'm in on Wilson. But yeah, I want to hear your take on Kraft, because obviously he had the 2 quotes in like the same little interview session that made its way on Twitter, where the first one was like, I don't care about the contract extension. Like, I'm just trying to get back and play. And that's the one that got pumped a lot more than the other one, which I thought was a lot more concerning, where he literally tells reporters, he's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to do much for the first 6 weeks of the season or 8 weeks of the season. And then I'm going to be good to go, which, like, if it's, underdog, a different format, like week 17 is all that matters. So, and it's like, it's not, he's not going to be out there, but like, it's a little concerning to hear a guy we're taking, decently high or, a pretty, like considerably over guys like Pitts and, Fannin and these guys who, definitely have some upside. So I'm a little bit worried about Kraft. I hope he falls a little bit more because or else I'm not going to take much of him. What do you think on that?
I just have been kind of out on him relative to consensus anyways, because the way he scores fantasy points feels tough to me. A yak tight end. Like I was just talking about this with Jacob, but even if the Packers do significantly scale up their passing volume, I mean, they're good wide receivers. Like I don't think it is particularly likely he gets to like would he ever have 80 catches in a season? Like probably not. So you just have to rely on the crazy yak. He might be a little bit worse coming back from the ACL injury. Like certainly some reasons to believe that. And I frankly, what it is I just like Reed and Watson and Golden more for fantasy. And he has the injury concern. And now he's got maybe like route concern, which is all of that is just not particularly great. And the tight ends, like my biggest take at tight end this year is that it's like for best ball, maybe not as much for redraft. It's just like a crazy good year for late tight ends in best ball. You've got Ferguson, Dulcich, Gunnar Helm, Pat Freiermuth. Like, not that any of those guys are going to outscore Kraft, but just taking 2 or 3 of them in a draft always feels pretty good to me.
Yeah. Are you taking any Waller? Sliding him in and out of these
we just took Waller in the last one. Wearing 35, I don't love, but I mean, the dude
he's wearing 35?
Yeah, it's not good.
No, he's not.
He's wearing 35, dude.
That's not good.
It's not good. It's really not good. No, it's like one of the worst.
Is it just like one of those he's probably not actually wearing 35. It's just, he's wearing it at training camp. They got to buy him a new number, like that whole. It's probably one of the. Wait till one of the rookies gets cut. He'll probably get a new number. He's not wearing 35.
What does he normally wear? He normally wears 83.
And then he was 12 the last couple of seasons.
83 on the Panthers is David Moore.
Who's number 12?
Okay, number 12 on the Panthers is Kenny Pickett.
Oh yeah, Kenny, you gave that up, buddy. Let's let that go. What are the Panthers? Because the Panthers are carrying Pickett, Bryce, Haynes King, and don't they have no Dalton's on the Eagles? The Eagles are an interesting one because the Eagles they got Jalen Hurts, Andy Dalton. And they have Tanner McKee, and who I drafted him in one Superflex team just to say I could have him on one team.
The rumor, the conspiracy theory for them is that they signed Dalton so that they could trade Tanner McKee for like a 2nd-round pick and still have a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I like Cole Payton though at NDSU. I like him a lot.
I like Cole Payton too.
He's fun.
Yeah, they're gonna make him a tight end though.
Yeah. Same with Haynes King. He's going to be Taysom Hill now.
They should. The Panthers should do it. Like, what else do the Panthers have going on? Why do you not need your very own version of Taysom Hill?
Exactly. Yeah, and he'd be like, maybe he wouldn't be as good a receiver, but like, dude, he's a legit runner. Like, he was fun as hell at Georgia Tech.
He like leads football in like dog per pound.
Oh, 100%. That's like a football guy. Like, definitely like a college quarterback everybody loves, but like he's only a college quarterback. Maybe he has a niche role in the NFL, but like, yeah, man, that's like just a football guy, Haynes King. Like he's the man.
Who's your favorite obvious bad NFL quarterback who is a sick college football quarterback?
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, this is a little bit ago. Dude, I fucking loved Matt Corral at Ole Miss. I thought he was fucking sick. He's on like the UFL now or something, but I loved Matt Corral.
Corral's a good one. I'm going Greg Ward. All right, we're up. I actually do think we should take Mekhi Lemon. This is a crazy price.
Yeah, no, I like Lemon here for sure. He might just play. He might just be fine.
And then I think we should go Dobbins.
Stribling's gone, right? This lobby took him. I don't know if they did. I think we go Stribling.
Is still there. Okay. All right.
Or
No.
Bucky. Yeah, I think we're
Hey.
Stribling, dude. He's a really good pick there.
You're a guest to my house. I disagree with Jalen Milroe. I disagree with Anthony Richardson. I disagree with Klubnik. You guys are bad at this. Yes. Obviously the GOAT of this category is Johnny Manziel.
What about Trayvon Boykin from TCU? Yeah, he was a fun one for a while.
He was really good. L. Roberson is an all-timer. That's a little bit before your time.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
He was Darren Sproles' college quarterback at K-State. I mean, you know what's funny is Sham Bliss is going to end up being one of these guys.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah, he definitely is.
He is not going to be a good NFL quarterback. all due respect. Taj Boyd, a very good one. Terrell Pryor, a very good one.
Oh,
Bailey Zappi. See, if you said whoever said Cade Klubnik, no, awful answer. Bailey Zappi is who you want in this category.
Max Brosmer.
No.
I would say because he's a gopher. He was a gopher. So
whichever of the O'Rourke brothers or cousins or whatever played at Ohio, I really like. I don't remember if it was Nathan or there's two of them. Rakeem Cato from Marshall. Yes, absolutely.
What about De'Ara King?
Oh, yes, Houston, and then where else did he
Houston
play?
and Miami.
Yeah. He was fun. Yeah, I moved Tyson down in my stuff to like the 80s. What Jordan Tyson pick 99? Would you be in on Jordan Tyson at pick 99?
Pick 99. I mean, I feel like around Sutton, Golden. I guess, yeah, it's fine. I just don't want to draft him though at all. Like, especially in this format too. Like, maybe in BBM or something, I would take him at 99. Like, I probably made a little bit before that too if it's BBM, but this I don't want anything to do with him. But what's Sutton's deal, dude? Is this guy like? I never take him. I never take him. I never take Sutton, and it's like, oh, he goes out and he makes like is he just gonna be one of these guys that just he's gonna get 800 yards or like 1,000 yards and like 6 to 8 touchdowns every year, and like it's just what he's gonna do. But he's never gonna win you. Like, he's never gonna be a league winner. He's live to have 6 for 84 and a touchdown. Like, is that just who he is? Like, for the rest of it, like, or is he gonna die? Is he dead soon? Like, I want Pat Bryant's season. I don't want Cortland Sutton's season.
He's a pretty, like, I think we all know he's a pretty good player.
Yeah,
but the ceiling is just there's a hard cap on the ceiling that goes like that is like both like per game and per year. Like, he's never gonna have 1,500 yards. He's never gonna score 14. Like, he's never, and frankly, you could tell me that he ends up having more yards than Jalen Waddle, but Jalen Waddle ends up having the 2 biggest spike week games of any Denver wide receiver. I'm totally with that. Yeah. So,
all right. Who's there at running back right now? Any names for us to? We don't have a QB yet either. We don't have a QB yet either.
We don't have a quarterback yet. Ironically, this is going to end up being a Cam Ward team, despite me being worried about it.
It's gonna be fun.
Max
Duggan's a good answer. Max Duggan's a great. Will Greer and Max Duggan are both good answers.
Michael Bishop, that's someone who knows the K-State bias right there. I mean, Rhett Bomar is a really good one. Michael Thompson, really good one. That was a short-lived time at the University of Oklahoma.
You know, it might be one of those guys too. Is going to be I think his first name's is it Kevin Jennings at SMU?
Ken Jennings, right? It's the same. It's the same as the Jeopardy guy.
I don't even know the Jeopardy guy. So.
We're up. We like legit like got to take a quarterback. We got to take Cam Ward.
And do we push it or do we just?
We're gonna have to
probably
push it.
C-Rod here then. C-Rod.
Yeah. All right. What are you making of that backfield?
Oh yeah, I'm a noted Tuten hater.
That's right. You watched the film and you said he's got no juice.
I just don't think he's, again, it's a talent thing for me. I understand the situation's very good. I just don't think like I think people are think like he's not going to be some bell cow guy. And he doesn't have to be, obviously, right? But like I'm not going to draft a guy when Judkins is right there and he's a like far and away a better player, a better running back than Bhayshul Tuten. I'm just not going to subject myself to that kind of punishment. I'm just not going to do it. So like could he win on a situation alone? Yes. But it's like even they're talking about right now where like Cohen was asked about it. It's like it's going to be it's like the Quint Allen's going to be a lot more. I think he's going to be in the mix. 100% he's going to be in the mix. So it's like I don't know, Tuten, like he's explosive and like he's fast and I think he can do some good stuff in the receiving game for sure. But it's like he just feels like the poorest version of Jameer, like that Jameer Gibbs archetype, like Travion Henderson. And he's probably a tier below that even, I would say, or maybe around wherever Travion's going to get. Like whatever role Travion's going to have is probably going to be about the role that Tuten gets, maybe even worse, is the read I have on it.
So let me tell you why you're wrong. First is LeQuint is like maxed out at what he can do in the NFL. He's Dare Ogunbowale. That's who he's gonna. And I liked him as a prospect, but it's not happening.
Right? I don't hate that take. That's a good take. I like that right there. Okay.
And what I would put. Actually, I'm not even gonna tell you you're wrong. This is what I would pose to you. Why don't you go watch some of his Virginia Tech film?
I've watched his Virginia Tech film. I've seen it.
And that's still what you think.
He's not like that good. He's fine. Like he's a fine running back. Like this wasn't a guy we were like, oh, dude, Bhayshul Tuten's good. Like he had the sick combine, but like I think he's still living off that sick combine. It's like he also didn't do shit last year. He had a couple goal line carries and like he had one nice run or catch in the playoff game. But like that was like he didn't like come on the scene last year. Like, oh yeah, Tuten is like he's killing it right now. Like that, we just never even had that. We never even like saw significant flashes of him last year either.
His best carries were in the playoff game against the Bills.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, that feels like the ultimate like fluke playoff, like like Gabe Davis catching 3 touchdowns
big players, big games.
Oh god, dude, I just don't I don't see it with two. I see the situation, and he's gonna definitely have a role. Like I will take I'll take my 4.
Well, I would hope a guy going in the 5th round of drafts has a role.
Yeah, but like and but he'll have like the fun role, like the high value touch role is kind of obviously what he'll be. But like I think people think like he's not the goal line back. That's C-Rod. Like everyone knows that's C-Rod. Is there a debate for that? Like, just because he was the goal line back for like they literally said what Cohen said. He was like, we don't have an ETN on this team. Like that wasn't a great quote for Tuten, where it's like, we don't have an ETN on this team, so we need to be running back by committee. Like, they don't view Tuten as even like an ETN who's like, I don't know, however you feel about ETN. Like, he's kind of like a hot and cold player throughout his career, but it's like, they don't even view him as like a slightly above average guy, which is kind of what ETN's been, or like pretty good to good.
The issue is that C-Rod, for whatever you think about Tuten, even if you do think let's say that Tuten is like Mike Davis, like truly like just like the most average guy. C-Rod stinks, dude.
It doesn't matter if he stinks though. Like he's gonna be like, I don't even think do you think he stinks? I don't know if he's that bad. He was fine. He was good last year. He had some good games.
He has no wiggle.
True. He has no wiggle. That's
no wiggle. Zero wiggle, dude. He's a totally fine. Let's take Stroud and T-Ferg.
Yep.
Yeah, Stroud and T-Ferg. Like I fully grant that a guy like Chris Rodriguez on a depth chart this hollow has a role.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a C-Rod hater for sure. But if your plan as a team is let's go give 18 rushes to C-Rod, you know what you're going to do? You're going to lose a bunch of games, dude. Because I got to watch this watching the Kansas City Chiefs. Data guys can actually misinterpret what C-Rod does, like the rushing yards over expectation and the success rate. No one would say that Kareem Hunt made the Chiefs better as a team last year, but his metrics were really good. Yeah. Because he would always convert and he would generally kind of get you 4 yards when you needed 4 yards, but he never added any explosives.
Yeah.
I mean, if C-Rod had 300 rushes. How many rushes over 20 yards? Like 5?
Yeah, not good.
You know, Tuten is going to do that stuff. I agree with this, that if I was saying this is just who Sierra is forever, but this is also who Chris Rodriguez was in college. He just is that.
He's a Cohen guy, though. Cohen loves this guy.
Yeah, he is a meat and potatoes guy. That's what he does.
100%. Yeah, and like obviously that's why he goes. You know, where we just got him in round 12. It's like I'm not sitting here saying that, like, but I think C-Rod's gonna be the goal line back, and I think people think that Tuten's gonna be the goal line back. I don't think that's true.
I think they're both gonna get goal line rushes.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I could see that.
Does anyone want to guess? I'm gonna see if I can pull this up.
Who was he there with? C-Rod at Kentucky. Wasn't he with? Well, no, he wasn't with Ray Davis, was he?
He was there with Ray Davis for a little bit, and with Wandale.
Well, Ray Davis was only there for 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray Davis was there forever. He was also a 5-year college player.
Oh, okay. Ray Davis was the only guy in SEC history to have 1,000 yards at 2 different SEC schools. Shout out Ray Davis. I think he just. Oh, this is another good answer to college quarterback who did nothing in the NFL. Lynn Bowden. Yeah. Yes, I mean, C-Rod had got cut and waived and then re-signed to the Commanders about 1 billion times. I'm not even trying to be obtuse about it. Like, I'll draft a little bit of Chris Rodriguez. I think he's fine, but like, yeah,
I think the team is smartly setting themselves up to give Tuten a chance to say, can you be as good as ETN was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they signed one of Liam's guys to try and give themselves a backstop.
Yeah, I just don't think he's. I don't think he's anywhere. I'm not even a big ETN guy, but I don't think Tuten is anywhere near the player ETN is. So.
Yeah, I'm not that big of. I'm not that big of a guy. Lynn Bowden, yes, I mean obviously one of the most Davis-matic players of all time. Loved Lynn Bowden. Weird. So Lynn Bowden, that's a crazy guy. Got drafted by the Raiders, never played for the Raiders, or was it by the Dolphins? One way he got drafted and then traded before ever playing a game.
That's crazy.
Okay, now I got to look it up.
I don't even know who Lynn Bowden is, though. I can't lie.
Dude, come on.
What year is he? What year did he play in college football?
He didn't graduate he was born in 97, so it couldn't have been that long ago.
He was born in 90. He was born in 97?
Yeah, he graduated in 2019.
Oh yeah, see, I don't know. Where did he play?
He played at Kentucky.
Oh yeah, I wasn't really locked into college football in 19.
So he got drafted by the Raiders, and then they traded him for a 2021 6th-round pick before he had ever played. So they drafted him in the 3rd round, and they traded him.
He must have been ass then. He must have been bad.
He was like a jerk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got in a big brawl before his final college game. Like they had like a big like physical altercation. He was kind of a jerk. Oh shit. All right. Schultz went. Mendoza or Tua?
Ooh, it's fine. Mendoza here. Just pray that he play. We kind of need the QB upside here. I think it's Mendoza.
Yeah. And then, all right. What do you want to take, a tight end or a running back?
Probably. I would tight end here. I probably go like Gadsden, I guess. Or
no, not taking Gadsden.
Okay, I don't like Gadsden. I just thought the ADP was good. Let's go Helm.
Yeah. I may be a little bit worried about Helm losing some of his snaps to Daniel Bellinger as like a blocker guy.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about it. How much 12-11 did Daboll run at for the Giants last year? Let me look this up real quick.
Not a ton, but their tight ends weren't very good. Their tight ends were Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger.
Exactly. And what Theo Johnson and Helm are pretty similar players, are they not, talent wise?
I mean, I think Helm is better. I think Helm is better.
He probably is, but it's not. I don't think it's like overly like it's not crazy, you know.
My gut instinct is that Helm really did get his draft stock killed by doing his drills with
See that 40 with
ankle.
the bum ankle? That was so dumb. I don't know why he did that. The Giants were 14th and 11th highest personnel. What about 12 though? They were 7th in 12 personnel last year. So 12th and 11th personnel.
I'm gonna say, I guess if you have no receivers, it's easier to go 12.
Yeah.
All right, man. Floor's yours. Tua, Penix. Floor's yours.
So this is much like I don't want to overreact to 5 passing attempts from Tua in week 1. Now, if he doesn't drop the snap, like, people don't lose their minds. And here I heard you talking about the Falcons fan part of it too. The other part of that was we got absolutely embarrassed. So I think there was some of that when, like, those feelings are being brought up towards Tua because it was like 30-6 at halftime. The stadium's never filled because the fans suck. And then, Sean Payton's like talking shit about us at the halftime interview. So I think that had a little bit something to do with it. I don't want to overreact to 2 drives of football and just be like, yeah, now I know Tua is not the guy. Was it awful? Yes, it was bad. But like anything that if Tua, and then obviously he had the fucking clip of him dancing after at practice. Like, I just don't think it's that big a deal. Like, people hate Tua. We know this. People, for some reason, they absolutely hate Tua. I don't know why people hate Tua, but they do. And so everything he does wrong, it's just going to be magnified 100x. So I'm going to stand strong on my take and say that Tua will not be bad enough to get benched as early as people think he will. So I'm going to stand strong there. I think it's still Tua. I'm going to stick to my guns on this.
All right. What about the Browns? What about Watson?
I got no idea what to do with them because it was like, with Watson, it was like, yeah, he's thrown this X amount of interceptions in this amount of practices, which was not good. And then there was like a day where it's like, yeah, Shedeur is going to get cut, but I think that was just like dumbass radio people, talking out of their ass. And then but then Shedeur has the awful, the overthrow in the preseason game. So like, I don't know what to do. And then Deshaun looks good in the preseason game. So it's like, again, whatever take you had before, you just stay with the same take. And my take on that would be, I have no clue. I'll take a couple of shares of both if my QB situation is absolutely dire in a draft. I just don't know what to do with them. I don't want to have any of them on my team.
I feel it's a guess, but I feel pretty confident about it, is that Watson starts the year and then plays so poorly that the team, like, more or less has no chance to continue. Like, it'll be losing the locker room levels of bad. Like, if Deshaun Watson was not signed to that insane contract, he would be gone. He would already be gone. So yeah. And not that I think Shedeur is any good either. I don't. I mean, Shedeur is kind of like, I don't know. He's like shittier Cam Moore, really.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. What Benny said, it's like, there's a good chance that, not a good chance, but like probably 10-15% chance Taylor Green's starting week 17 anyway. So it's like, it doesn't really matter which guy you take. You could be wrong on both. Okay.
All right. Let's take some running backs.
I think Emmett here. I mean,
I'm with you.
He's the man. I mean, yeah, that's the man right there. And then 5. Yeah, we go with the 6 receivers, you think?
We could do it either. We get 20 rounds.
It's either Oh, yes. Oh, true. Yeah. Let's go. Let's say a running back then, because like the receiver is a little. Is Caleb Douglas still there? If he's still there, I think we go Caleb Douglas.
No chance. He's got to be gone.
You think he's gone? I don't see him. Oh no, yeah, he's gone. I see him. Never mind. He's gone.
Went.
You're right. Let's go, Jeremy. Go, Jeremy.
Caleb Douglas is a really funny one because he was like really not even a prospect. Like he it's out of nowhere. He did have a nice catch in the preseason though.
And he's dominating camp, which has been like obviously the drumbeat for him. And it's like here's the thing with Caleb Douglas. Like, if Caleb Douglas is good, and like we just said, like Miami looked good in the first preseason game. Like, what if there's actually more to this? It's like, if he's the wide receiver 1 on a top 25, 20-ish offense, somewhere in that range, like in where we're drafting him, it's not like there's a stud tight end or anything. Obviously, Achane's going to get his, but it's like a wide receiver 1 on a top 20 to 25 offense. Like, that'd be a pretty good bet, to be making.
I think you're right. I'm a little worried that Chris Bell just got activated off of the non-football injury list. And if he did not tear his ACL, he probably would have been a first round pick.
Yeah. But he also coming off an ACL, he's just getting out there with the guys now too. Like there's something to be said for those team reps. So we'll see. But here's the thing too, even with Chris Bell, like Chris Bell's a completely different archetype than a Caleb Douglas. Like Chris Bell is actually like one of his comps that I saw from someone who does draft content that I really respect.
AJ
Chris
Brown.
Bell was AJ Brown, but the other one I saw was Rashid Rice, kind of like a bigger, like he's really good with the ball in his hands after the catch, like obviously a bigger build, like slant, all that type of stuff. He's not really like a true like X, I think. Like I don't know if he's like a true like maybe more like a DK Metcalf play style, somewhere between like DK and Rice. I get they're kind of two different type of players, but like that type of build, I don't really know. I don't know enough about his game to really be making my own comps. But I saw Rashid Rice, and like some of the stuff I saw with him after the catch kind of made sense to me.
I have not heard a word about Sean Tucker. Patrick is correct. I literally haven't heard a word about this guy since they said there was a quote like 6 months ago or something about having like a 3-headed backfield that like moved Sean Tucker up to like round 16 for a while. But yeah, I've heard nary a word of Sean Tucker's involvement at Buccaneers camp.
He'll probably still have a 30-point game again this year though, so that'll be fun.
I mean, he still will probably be the goal line back because they don't seem to like to use Bucky there. And Gainwell is certainly not equipped for it. Tucker is very good at it. Tucker, I mean, another guy who actually injuries led to him being wayside. He had like heart problems, which led to him being an undrafted guy coming out of Syracuse. But he was a high. Like if you go back and look at draft boards from before that stuff came out, he was expected to be like a good pro.
Yeah. Can I hear your 30-second take on Emmett Johnson? Because he was like my RB, like he was my most drafted player in the pre-draft stuff. Absolutely loved him. So it's good to see that and now there was a report today that he was like the second guy in. Like it seems like he's grabbed the RB2 role like for sure this time. There's like that Brashard Smith thing where like he's running with the ones. And I think the Chiefs do at camp, like they'll just give anyone run reps. Like Justin Ross. Remember when Justin Ross was getting reps with the ones? Like, oh dude, Justin Ross might be the guy. You see what he did at Clemson? It's like they just do this shit. Like they love fucking with us. So I don't know. I'm a big Emmett guy. I don't know how you feel about him.
I really liked Emmett Johnson's prospect profile. His receiving yards per team pass attempts was really high. Expected him to test pretty well. He did not. He weighed 202 pounds. He didn't even do good at the agility drills. But if you land with the Chiefs, that stuff matters a little bit less. It's really just a matter of what the team ends up deciding to do with DeMercado. He was still playing in the fourth quarter this last week for the Chiefs. So like maybe they're totally done with DeMercado and they like what they saw. But I get another hesitation is it sounds like Brashard Smith is probably going to make the team as a kick returner. And he's the best pass catcher of any of them. Like he's like the fastest, most explosive. He just can't be trusted to pass block at all, like at all. So it's really all of it just seems like a mess is where I'm at, is that I don't think there's a clear answer, and we're probably not going to know the clear answer until the season starts. And then whichever way it goes, people will be like, yeah, it was obvious. Like, of course, Emmett Johnson is going to be the running back too. Or of course, DeMercado had been a running back too before. It's going to be, it's just one of those things.
I just feel like if Kenneth Walker goes down, Emmett Johnson is taking the carries. Like he is going to be like he did it at Nebraska. Like I think he's that guy.
But he was in a timeshare in Nebraska
this past season.
Earlier,
not this past season. He was the man this past season. Claiborne's good.
We'll take your boy Claiborne. You want to take Chris Bell?
Actually, not a bad bet. Let's just go round 20. I think Chris Bell, is probably the pick.
Yeah. This last year, it was not as pronounced of a timeshare, but he still was not. If my stuff is right, okay, never mind. I'm wrong. I'm wrong actually.
So he had a ton of fucking carries last year, like a ton.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. I'm thinking of the year prior, where Dante Dowdle and Ramir Johnson actually outtouched him.
Emmett was a late breakout for sure. Late breakout. I don't know how good of a recruit he was. He's from Minneapolis. I didn't even know about him until like this past season. If I'm being completely honest, like he's from Minneapolis. I had no clue who he was.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
All right. Here's the team. Did we do a good one? we didn't really. We fucked up quarterback. Cam Ward, CJ Stroud, Fernando Mendoza, Devin Achane, Breece Hall, Bucky Irving, Chris Rodriguez, Emmett Johnson, Damon Claiborne, Justin Jefferson, Carnell Tate, Stephon Diggs, Michael Wilson, Mekhi Lemon, Dijon Stribling, Jeremy Bernard, Chris Bell, Colson Loveland, T. Ferg, and Gunnar Helm.
Yeah, love it.
I've seen better teams.
I don't love the QBs, but other than that, I think it's okay. The QB we got absolutely the three freaking Love, Jones, Shuck ripping off right before we take Cam Ward was tough.
Yes.
Not good.
How are you feeling about your upcoming stream? You got how many guests you got booked?
Booked. Let me see here. We got you're still kicking us off, right? You still doing that? All right.
Yeah.
So got you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the moment. With hopefully they'll definitely be more than 7 for sure, but 7 at the moment with a time locked in.
Okay.
So
all right,
we still got a week.
Have you done a 24-hour stream before?
I did, yeah. So I did it my first year streaming, and yeah, I almost had to call 911, so I'm hoping to avoid that mistake this time around. Why
did you almost have to call 911?
It was a great mistake. So this was at so I started the stream at 6, and this is around probably 1 a.m. or 2. I think BBG and Bindles had just gotten off, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, gotta stay awake. So it's the most chud thing ever. I went and I had this pre-workout, and this is a crazy one I had at the moment. This is the craziest one I've ever had. That was just happened to be the one I had at that time. And it's a 400 milligram, crazy amount of pump, just an insane pre-workout. It tasted awful, but it was unbelievable. If you're working out, but I didn't eat. I didn't I wasn't eating. Yeah. I was sitting down. So I wasn't moving around. So I downed this thing, and I've never done shrooms or any psychedelics or anything like that in my life. But the way my heart was beating, I've never felt it. My anxiety was I literally thought I was gonna pass out and die from the amount of caffeine I just took. And then I've had 911 dialed, but I was I cannot do this on stream. This would be an awful look. So I just waited it out. 2 minutes went by, and I was fine, but it was not good. It's on. You can find it. It's on my YouTube still, of me pretty much hyperventilating, thinking I was gonna die from this fucking pre-workout.
I mean, I've been there with the pre-workout before of being this doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
But you just got to ride the wave.
Yeah, that's what we did. So we will not make that mistake again. Really gonna try and not get drunk on this thing either, because the thought of getting drunk and then
don't do that.
Exactly. Having a hangover while you're still streaming, that seems awful.
Can't.
We're not gonna do that. We'll have a couple drinks, but we're not gonna go all out. So
yeah. All right, everyone. Make sure you're checking out PPR Tyler's stuff. Make sure you're there for the 24-hour stream. I will see you guys then. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you guys can head on over to flockfantasy.com. You can get all the best ball tools I was using in the stream. The season pass is only $34 for that. If you want to support, if you want to check it out, and I'll be back with all of you guys tomorrow.